this on Patreon, you're probably going to benefit from this live stream here. Okay. So if you're over there, because our last book, we've been covering angels over there. And so we're going to dive more into that because I know that's where a lot of healing is going to happen. That's where a lot of progress is going to happen. That's where a lot of shifting is going to happen when we start working with angels. And I wanted to break down this beautiful book so you can see some of the correlations and the things I have been discussing here about angels and what it says in the book. Just to make sure you are reviewing the book, reviewing all your resources that you have over there. And you know that the first thing that I have you to do is start working with angels. Welcome, 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 TikTok family. You can sit in on this topic. Um, Maybe you'll learn something, or maybe you can add something to the discussion. Hello, African No Hyphen. Hello, hello, YouTube family, TikTok family. Welcome, 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 welcome. I know I've been had some downtime. Time, you guys know I'm really big on self care and just continue to develop my relationship with my own ancestors and my own spirits that I work with. So I do a lot of downtime, but I'm always present in our community. If you need me, I'm always in there. I try to be, even though there's some hours differences in our time zone. I try to be as present as possible in there. And you know how to reach me by email or in our community. Okay. Welcome, 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 TikTok family. Welcome, 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 YouTube family. I know y'all have a holiday that's coming up. Uh, so I'm just going to dive in here. I don't know if many of you are off from work that can enjoy this live stream. Hi, Fafa. Fei Fi, welcome, Free Mama. Welcome, 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 TikTok family. Welcome, 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 YouTube family. I'm getting ready to dive into this discussion here. We're going to be talking about angelic sigils, keys, and calls. And I remember last time I came here and I talked to you guys about chants. And so you're going to see that in that book. And if you saw that in that book, I bet you've been like, oh my gosh, there's chanting. The chanting is here. And what does the chanting do? So we're going to talk about that because we talked about the importance of chants, the importance of your voice, the signature of your voice, the frequency of your voice. Um, and so we're going to dive into this book. It's going to be very interesting, okay, in this discussion. And the name of the book is called Angelic Sigils, Keys, and Calls. You probably want to get that book. If you're doing any emotional healing, any shadow work, or anything like that, I recommend this book. Okay. And then the way we think that angels can help us sometimes is very different than what you think. Sometimes you need a little help getting to a frequency, and they can remove blocks to help you get to that frequency. That is why we work with archangels. That is why we work with saints. Okay, so let me dive in here. I see people are coming in here, so I'm going to get started. I know you guys have a holiday coming up, so I'm going to try not to keep you too long. But this is an important discussion because you've heard me. When you hear me talk about a topic more than one time, again, that's important to your practice. Okay, that's why we're covering again. You'll probably say, Miss Penny, we already talked about this. Yes, we did. So we're going to talk about it again. I want to make sure that you're going through your resources and your materials, and that you understand the power and the access you have with your resources if you're looking through them. So I'm going to really help you as much as I can. So we're doing a specific uh, book review on this one because I think this is maybe the third time this month. Maybe we've covered archangels. We're going to do it again next month too. So I'm going to keep it in front of your face all the time. Okay, because these are the relationships you're going to really need to remove blocks and do a lot of healing. Let's dive in here. Okay, so the book is teaching practitioners how to enter into a conscious partnership with creative power of the Most High. This system is rooted not only in the use of angelic sigils and calls, but in the awakening of your inner knowing, your free will, and your active role in shaping reality. The book emphasizes that when you begin the ritual, chant the sacred sounds 3 times. You're saying it 3 times. There are chants in the book that you say 3 times. Now, when they were talking about the chants, I want to go back to the middle pillar exercise. If anyone has, I'm going to get nerdy on you. If you've done your homework, if you've listened to the lectures and things I have discussed over there, you know about the middle pillar exercise. For those of you that's in this live stream, you probably want to take notes and go look that up. Anybody can benefit from the middle pillar exercise. So you see, that telling you to say that chant 3 times, just like our ancestors have always said. We said 3 times, okay? But that's the most important thing to remember here is why you aligning yourself, because now you're tapping into those frequency. Why are we saying this chant? Because we're dialing into the frequency. Okay. You can say that chant as many 3 times. I would say it in 3 time intervals and repeat it 3 more times and then 3 more times until you feel you've tapped into that frequency. Another good exercise to do, it, like I said, is the middle pillar exercise. It helps you tap into that frequency as well and clear out anything before you begin your any workings. So if you've read the book, you know it's telling you to say those chants 3 times, but you have another option is the middle pillar exercise too. Why are we doing the chant? I'm going to repeat this again to tap into the frequencies. You don't know how to use your mouth. You don't know how powerful your mouth is until you start using it to tap into higher frequencies and vibrations. Now, when you're doing these chants, I would like to implement that the chant sounds more like a hum. You're going to drag it. Like that. You're going to drag the chant. Okay. And one thing that I notice about spirits love of music. They respond very, very effectively to music, especially when you can shift your mood and the frequency and vibration where you are at. Okay, so don't forget you have music as well. So that's why we are saying the chant. Once we made contact, now you may not feel anything. Let me stop right now. You may not feel anything. Okay, depending on the angel that you are working with, which I'm gonna go into that even deeper. Keep doing it for a few weeks, because what usually happens if you continue to do that, usually you're going to start having some sort of experiences either with your sleep, or you're going to start having visions, or you're going to start having some type of clear knowing, or feeling, clear sentience. Keep doing it. Okay, it's been a while since you tapped. If you're just beginning this, it may take you a while to tap into those frequencies because you never dialed in there. This is not, if you think you're going to get, magic, this type of work require patience because it works on a subtle level. If you're consistent with this, you will get results. You've heard this over and over again, even in the materials and resources that I provide. I am not making this up. I want your magic to work, but you need to have in your mind and an understanding that these energies work on a subtle level. And when we're wanting change, they can rearrange those items so we can again experience that change. But it takes effort and consistency on your part. Hello, Heath. Okay, it's going to take some effort on your part and some patience. So let me dive in here. Once the contact is made, the practitioners must know deeply that it is their divine right to communicate with angels. It is your birthright. They got to come. They got to come. So stay consistent. They know that when you start to call them and petition them and ask for their assistance, they have to come. And the thing, I think the most thing that you need to be concerned with is having is your mind open enough to speak with them? You may be blocked. They may be showing up and you're blocked. Okay, this is why I specifically got you working with these angels. If you've read this book, you know what it do. Okay, let me go into it. Emotional participation is one of the strongest pillars of this system. So if your emotions, you're not feeling the magic, you're not sincere in your heart about the contact you want to have with them, again, these spirits see you. Your frequency speaks for itself. Okay, the main thing is staying calm. There's nothing to be frightened of, and staying calm and being able to tap into that emotion, being sincere. Speak the words, feel the words. It's another thing to speak them, but do you feel the words? You got to be able to feel it. That's why I tell you do a lot of emotional healing. Do some heal your nervous system, because most of our emotions are frozen. We can say we want, but we don't feel what we want. And we've let people trigger us into, you know, trigger our emotions so easily. And when you seeing that's happening, that's someone who has total control over your emotions. You can't regulate your own nervous system. You're easily triggered. And once you get that under control, you're gonna have more power over yourself and over your work. That has to happen. Okay? Be specific, be grounded and sincere, and know that they have to answer if you are in alignment with the work. Are you in alignment with the work? Yes, you are. If you asking for a job, are you looking for a job? Okay. If you're looking for healing, be willing to do the shadow work, uh, and open yourself up to the healing. This is a partnership. They can't help you if you're not willing. This is about your will too. You have to be willing. You have a free will. As long as you're willing to do it, they can help you. Now, the thing about these angels too, when you start working with them, you know, you're gonna tell which ones you're able to work with and which ones you're not. Okay, it's important if you're gonna be working with these angels that you have a space set up for them with no distraction when you start your ritual. Use your senses, your intuition, uh, your emotional state again, because these spirits going to be talking to you through your mind and your emotions, how you feel. And if you're not intact with that, you have not did enough healing, you might be missing messages, or you need to go work with the angel, another angel, to do healing before you start tapping into that. Not your fault, it happens. That's why I got you working with angels. So if you do start hitting blocks like that, you can go back and start working with the angel that'll help you heal in certain spots. Absolutely helps with your shadow work. No one likes to hear this part. Everybody likes to hear the magic part, but you can't get the magic. You can't feel the magic. You can't visualize the magic. How it's going to happen? That's why we're going over this. And that's why you hear me saying again, I'm going to be saying shadow work, ancestor work. All of this, it comes together. Can't have one without the other. We have so many people that want these things out of hoodoo, or, the way magic is being presented here. You don't know that many of us practitioners has put in work. It is working here. Despite what you may be, what you're being showed here. It is work over here. And to access certain frequency and to meet certain goals, we might have blocks in ourselves that we have to remove. or work on. But after every block that we remove, the gem, the magic happens. It's a byproduct. Every time you heal something, it's some magic, special magic that you'll be able to tap into. How long have you been live? Not that long. Maybe about 15 minutes, maybe 10. Not long. Okay. So every time you heal, there's a byproduct. And what I've noticed here, is people that want to tap in the magic the most that I've come in contact with. When I tell them this part of it, what they got to do, because they're wondering why this is not working, why this is not shifting. And I get the prying because I'm going to pry. Hi, Victorious Libra. I'm going to pry because if you say something's not working, and I know this is work if you do the work, and I get the prying on what you got going on, and I find out you ain't got nothing going on and you want this to jump, you ain't got no consistency, you ain't got no order, you ain't got no altar, then that's not going to work. That is not going to work. You ain't got no consistency. You ain't got no relationship with your ancestors. You ain't got no friends, no friends in the spirit realm. You ain't been working with no roots. You don't. It's not gonna work. This is not how this work. I don't care what people tell you and show you. You have to be in alignment with the work. There has to be some consistency on your part if you claim to be a practitioner. Grenade. This is not hi. How you doing, Grenade? This is not no fly by thing. Okay, we don't just go up and just. This is order to this. We have relationship with spirits. We have rituals with spirits. We have friends. Your magic is not going to work if you're not working with some sort of spirits. This is why we have our ancestors front and center to clear the way and keep our work and us protected. So if you're not clearing anything out, you're not willing to heal, and then you have I have when I tell people this, they get to avoiding, but they want this to happen. Like, why do you keep avoiding it? Why do you want this? You crossing yourself up when you do that. That's all you doing. That's the more crossing work you're gonna have to do when you keep doing that. Hey, how you doing, Gerald? Okay, that's all you doing. And like I told you, when I first got in this, I had to do a lot of uncrossing on myself because I didn't know how. Wasn't my fault. I recommend you do a lot of healing and a lot of, healing on yourself and a lot of meditation and baths and protection on yourself. When washing your head when you first get over here in Hoodoo. And keeping your head covered. Okay? It is levels to this. Contrary to what people telling you and just picking it up. And if they are picking it up now, they're gonna have to at some point they're gonna have to go back to the foundation. They have to go back because they got to grab a foundation. You're gonna hit a block. Gonna hit a block if you're not doing the healing work on top of it. It's like non-negotiable because that's where the magic is. I hope this is making sense to you. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you no fluff and all that stuff. You getting the fluff right now. That this is all magic. You believe that? You believe folks ain't sitting over here working and stuff behind here? Are you serious? Folks got whole relationship with spirits and people are doing work. They're pushing back plates. Because you don't want, why do we keep our head covered? There is outside a source of energies that can have access to your head. You can control more of your thoughts and protect your head when you protect your head. And you, again, keep other spirits at bay from jumping in your mind like that. But if you keeping your head washed and keeping it covered, then you're able to protect your thoughts and another spirit from influencing your mind. slow it down and say, okay, this ain't me. That's why we protect our head. And I've just told you that spirits speak to you telepathically. So that what are they doing? They're accessing your mind. And so by keeping your head washed and protected, we're saying to ourselves, our head is protected and we only want to come in contact with higher vibrational frequencies and thoughts. That's a real thing. You're protecting your ori. Some people call it your ori. But again, we're protecting our head because this, when you want to protect it, when you know that all these spirits are talking to you telepathically. And some, people said, I don't know why I did that. I just had a feeling I want to do this horrible thing to this person. Because it's spirit. Okay. Somebody asking me a question. I feel I know who put juju on me. I don't practice, but I have a gift of discernment. Well, you better get them spiritual baths, spiritual protection baths popped up. Are you saying protection? I noticed the people that think they have the juju and stuff on them, what are you doing to keep yourself protected? There should be some type of regimen. If you think you are somebody has put something on you, which I believe that people can be malicious and do stuff like that. But then why would they put some what do they have to gain to put something on you? What are they gaining by that? So you want to ask yourself that question. If you think they have, you can take your baths. It's exercise. It's simple things out there you can do to protect your energy. Are you doing that? You can use vinegar and water, lemons, Epsom salt to protect yourself. And say Psalms 23, 27, and 91. That's simple. Do that 3 or 4 days in a row. As many times your intuition tell you to. Keep saying that. Say it in the morning. 23, 27. Get that popping. Especially if you know you picking this up and all that. The first thing you need to learn is protection and psychic defense and cleansing. You don't need to be picking up no spells, none of that. None of that. If you know you don't know how to spiritually protect yourself, get somewhere and sit down. Get somewhere and be quiet and get over there and practice protection and psychic defense. Don't do nothing else. And talk to your ancestors. Start healing. Do that first before you even think about picking up something, doing something. Okay? Don't even pick that up. That's why I tell you when you first get up there and say you don't know nothing. I know we got a lot of stuff. Don't be overwhelmed, beloved. But what you need to start off with is shadow work, healing, ancestral veneration, and divination and cleansing. That's all. You need to probably do that for as long as you feel comfortable that your stuff is working. Work on you first. Before you start doing anything, working on anything on the outside of you, we're gonna build the inner world. We're gonna start building the character first. So when you start picking up stuff, you'll have more success than the picking up stuff and got all kind of blocked and you're raggedy in the spirit and the mind and stuff. You don't know what's going on because you're all tattered up on the inside. You don't even know you got all these bruises and wounds on you. So let's deal with that first. Okay, we deal with that first. And I don't know, you think Hoodoo is not like an ATR. You must be, it's an ATR. I'm going to show you that when you get over there. These folks telling you it's magic. No, it's steps to this. First, you got to get your clean and build the inner you. Start moving blocks out and you work on you first. If you can work on you and the alchemy starts when we work on ourselves, that's alchemy. I don't know what these folks telling you. Inner alchemy. That's that new age stuff. Inner alchemy, making mysterious and got on all these costumes. That's what I call them. Got on all these costumes, making it look like it's majestic. No, sometimes it's ugly as hell. Alchemy is ugly as hell sometimes, especially when you're doing shadow work and trying to heal stuff. It ain't always pretty. But the change and transformation and transmutation brings on the magic. If you ain't changed on the inside, ain't nothing on the outside of you gonna change. How this gonna happen? As above, so below. So within, so without. It's everything's a reflection. Okay, nothing gonna happen if these folks has got you thinking hoodoo is just you do what you want to do. No, it's not. Matter of fact, I don't recommend that you get over there in IFA, any of those things if you ain't got this together. You ain't got this together. Don't jump over there first. Do this first. And then go over there, you'll have more success instead of getting over there trying to reach for some power that you ain't earned. Because when you get over there, you still got to earn. No spirits ain't going to roll up on you till you get yourself together. It's still ancestral. It don't matter. You still going to do the work and have to sit down and learn these concepts. These spiritual concepts. They may not look identical. They might have different words, but they're the same concepts to get you to working with a spirit. Same thing. Same thing I teach you over there. And I know when it starts because these angels and stuff, you'll start having some experiences. I know every time because y'all get the rolling up, coming up in my box and start telling me stuff. And I be like, like you couldn't believe it. But when you do what I asked you to do, because I want you to get the results, I don't want to keep nothing from you. I don't. I want you. I love when you had experience. I love when you had the experience. I sure do. I love when you had the experience because that let me know you're on the right track, you're making progress, and I want you to go hard. Every time you do it, I'm gonna tell you to amplify, go harder. Because again, I know it's gonna improve you. You're gonna tap into the magic. And these folks ain't telling you, but if you're consistent with them rituals, with your ancestor altar, and working on a ritual, they're gonna start to roll up on you. You're gonna have more experiences. That's what this is for. Everybody put in the work. Hoodoo don't mean skip work. Hi, how you doing, Yolanda? Thank you, sweetie, for being here. Okay. We do the same thing over there. Might be going by a different name, but you start looking at their stuff and our stuff, you be like, dang, we do the same thing over here. Yeah. It didn't change. Probably look a little different, but we kept it with us. Okay. What happens when you take a bath full of water with the cap ammonia? That's supposed to strip off a lot of things too. A lot of negative energy. That helps too. That moves all that dark energy as well. You can use ammonia. Um, and I come up with my own stuff sometimes. You can use ammonia. You can use vinegar. You can use lemons, lemongrass. You can use Epsom salt. It don't have to be a lot. Use what you got. Hell, I'd even put some Purex in there. Don't mess with me because I put a cap full of that in there. That's supposed to strip stuff away. I look at Clorox. Again, it strips things away. So again, use what you got. You don't got to go out there and buy no fancy stuff. The thing is the consistent and intentions. If you can feel that you want protection, ask for protection. If you need to bring an angel up in there, such as the Archangel Michael, invoke him to help you with the protection. Get your Psalms cracking and all that. Consistency matters. If you do that 3 days in a row and mean that you want protection and mean that you want to be cleansed, ye shall be cleansed. It's all about the intentions. If you can feel that and bring that in there, then that's what's going to happen. It don't take no whole bunch of going out buying stuff. Okay, that's not where the magic is. The magic is in you. Do you know what you're doing? Do you understand how to tap into different frequencies and vibrations? If you can do that, you can use salt and get something done. It don't matter what you got. Whatever you got is gonna work. But folks got you going out buying all this fancy stuff. No, you don't know. You don't understand the workings of it. When you understand the workings of it, you'll be able to go in your kitchen cabinet and see what you got and make that pop for you. You ain't got to go out and buy no fancy stuff. Not unless you want to. These are simple things. Okay? I don't care about your costumes and none of that stuff. Don't mean yes, I mentor. I sure do. You can go to our Patreon. It's in the link in the bio. Okay, and next month you guys are gonna I'm gonna woo, it's gonna be Christmas all month for you guys over there next month. The beautiful resources that I'm dropping on you. The I mean, I'm really proud the way things are lined up for you next month. It's gonna be like Christmas for you every day. You're gonna be getting something I like like it there because you guys, maybe it's good for me because I'm nerdy. So we're gonna get some wonderful resources over there. And you'll come in contact with some really good authors. You're going to listen to some authors of these resources. So I'm really happy about next month because I mean you're going to get some really good. It's going to be like Christmas every day, especially when I was, getting everything lined up for next month. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's going to be like Christmas every day for them. But I'm a nerd, so I look at it like that. But you tell me what you think, and what you think of the resources, but I think you're going to be very pleased next month. We're just going deeper in hidden conjure and hoodoo even harder. We're hitting it even harder next month. Okay. So if you're interested in our community, get over there. It's a good lineup, quality resources, very affordable. Okay. I want you, you're going to do the work. My mentorship is for you to get you to do work, showing you that you can get the results, motivating you to tap into your magic and find your magic, develop your relationship with your ancestors, and to do the work. That's my mentorship. I'm not gonna show you no spell because you're gonna have access to that anyway through all the resources we have on there. It ain't gonna do me no good showing you my magic when you don't even know how it works. What good is that gonna do you? You're gonna be back at square one because when you find that it don't work for you, then what's gonna happen? You don't know what's going on. So again, I have to show you from the beginning how it works. So when you do start, if you do, and I doubt you do because I'm too thorough over there. You can't get it wrong over there. I make sure you don't get it wrong, that you absolutely understand what hoodoo is from the beginning to the end. The sky is the limit. I don't keep no good thing from you or gatekeep. I want you to be better than me, bigger than me. Okay? They don't keep no good thing from you. We cover everything over there. I don't know everything. No practitioner knows everything. But I know this. I've been in long enough to tell you how to get it going. Okay, and build on it. The Patreon is abundance of quality resources. Thank you, Secrets of No. Okay, you're gonna have. I'm too thorough. Not gonna be confused. Okay, and then it requires you to get somewhere and sit down. What I notice about people, they don't like to get nowhere and sit down. They ancestors, they complain. I don't know this, I don't know this. Your ancestors been telling you to get somewhere and sit down and be quiet. They ain't told you to be. They told you to get. You want to learn, it's always there. But you got to get somewhere and sit down and be quiet. And your mind is in survival mode, and it takes a lot of slowing down and going within. And if you ain't ready to look at yourself, then it ain't for you. If you think magic is supposed to happen instantaneously, then this ain't for you. No magic works instantaneously. Okay? You have to be willing to go within. Just because it's not an just because it's not a religion, hoodoo is not a religion, doesn't mean it ain't levels to this. And I'm gonna show you that. You're gonna get some results with me. Okay? You're gonna get some results. If you do the rituals and you do what you're supposed to be doing, you're gonna get some results. But if you shucking and jiving and all that stuff, because these spirits seeing you. I have to put it. They sitting up here watching you. That's why they sit there and watch you with the ritual. Say how long he gonna do this. We gonna see if she for real. Oh, they calling me. They calling me. They calling me. Okay, okay. They did this 2 days in a row. Let's see. Okay, 3 days in a row. Okay, let's see. But you know they did it that time, and then they fell off. So you really don't know if they for real this time. Okay, we feeling that vibration. They reaching that vibration, and before you know it, you're gonna have an experience. And spirits are not like humans. You can't fool no spirit. So get that out your mind. And you're gonna earn their trust, and you're gonna have some character if you're gonna be working with these spirits. You can't be raggedy over here. I don't care what you're seeing with these other practitioners doing raggedy stuff. I don't care what you're seeing over there. I don't care. I'm telling you about these spirits. I'm not talking about no people. I'm talking about these spirits. You can't be raggedy with them. I'm telling you that right now. You're gonna be running somewhere else. Okay? You're gonna have to be able to take them though. They won't be clear about who they are. If you know a spirit or angel is around, it's important to know who it is and they want. Okay? Hopefully that you're invoking the spirit and it's not coming uninvited. Okay. Hopefully that you know that. Okay. Don't forget about the Kabbalah and the Barbello. I talked about that the last time, me, Miss Penny Christmas. Me, ever since I joined this community, you are the truth. That's what African No Half says. It's been like Christmas every day because I'm put something in your mind. Okay. I know your mind. If you're truly a seeker and a knower, as those of you that are thirsty for knowledge, this is going to be a haven for you. If your mind is thirsty and you really want to know things, this is going to be a haven for you. You're going to love it. You're going to love it because I don't withhold no a good thing from you. Ain't going to do me no good to gatekeep a good spirit. Going to lead you anyway. I want you to see your greatest. I want you to see. I love when people say, Miss Penny, that angel came. I be so happy. I be so happy. I be so happy for you. I want you to keep going. I had somebody to contact me the other day said, Miss Penny, I don't work with this angel now. Is it? I thought they was talking about taking down the ancestor altar. I was like, no, 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 don't take down the ancestor altar because that's keeping everything going. That's keeping everything going. No, she's like, no, 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 no. I'm talking about the angel altar. I'm done with this angel. I want to work with another one. I was like, okay, then, girlfriend, put up another table then. Take that one down, thank the angel and everything, and then go on to the next one. And she had did her thing. Okay, so now gone. She's been making so much good progress over there, and she's making good progress. So I can tell when you're making progress over there. Okay, and working with these angels again, we have you working with angels because I know you need to heal. You need a lot of light in you. You need as much light in you as you can get. Okay, we have to move those blockages out of you. Okay. Got to move a lot of them blockages out of you. So we got, and again, you ain't in connection with your feelings and emotions. We got to get you back heart centered. Got to get you back heart centered and get your, because a lot of people took that away from us. Trauma and stuff will take that away from us. You got to remember, we went through a lot of intergenerational trauma. So a lot of our feelings and stuff are frozen. A lot of us got PTSD, ADHD, ADD, and we started to learn things about ourselves. And learning that about yourselves really tells you how your magic work and how you need to approach your magic as well. Okay? Need to know about yourself. I had got somebody over there now just broke my heart. Just hurt my little heart, honey. The little baby been trying to schedule a reading for me, honey. I had to fight for her healing. I said, you know what, girl, baby, you gonna get this today. You deserve this reading. You deserve divine guidance. You gonna show up for yourself. You can't keep doing this to yourself. I'm gonna get this schedule this thing one more time, and you gonna show up for yourself because I want that for you. Because I see what's going on when you get to doing stuff like that and avoiding yourself. You abandoning yourself. Okay, I can't let you do it. Okay, you come to me. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna let you do it. Then I'm gonna point it out when you're doing it in a very loving way. Why you doing that to yourself? Because them folks have taught you that you wasn't important. And you the very thing to make every damn thing going. Because without you, you ain't your life. You won't have no life. Won't have no job, no none of that. So you got to take care of yourself. I got to get you back into self care. Because these folks, their religion have you self sacrificing and have you thinking that you don't mean nothing. And I got to get you back in the center of that so you can walk in your God self. So I'm looking at yourself like that. You don't know how bad your mind is until it's time for you to tap into that magic and you have that low self-worth and you scared it's gonna be it's something good gonna happen to you. Some of you scared something good gonna happen to you. You don't deserve good to happen to you. But you ain't gonna see that till you get over there and start healing and stuff. Okay, I wouldn't recommend folks, but you got a lot of folks picking up this stuff and ain't did no healing. Don't want to sit down and be quiet. Don't want to go within. Ain't nothing on the inside change, but want everything on the outside to change. And now they running after people. I don't want that for you. I want to put you in contact with spirit so your ancestors can already start the initiation process. Okay. Hey, Rashad. Okay, I want that because the initiation process I talked about it a little bit. Starts when these spirits roll up on you. Okay, that's when it starts because you start to follow a spirit. I'm no longer in the way anymore. Now you got total control of your practice. The only thing you're gonna be coming to me for is when you have an experience and maybe you want to get some little insight or you just want somebody to talk about it with. I understand that. That's the only thing you're coming to me for. But overall, you have control over your practice. If something you're not sure about or you want a little second eyes on it or something like that, I'm there for that. Okay, keeping you safe on your path, showing you how to make connections with these spirits. Don't forget about Kabbalah. Miss Penny, I forgot the statue of Mama Wata as a gift for a friend earlier. Where are we getting that? I don't understand that statement right there, Raquel. Miss Penny, I got a statue of Mama Wata as a gift for a friend earlier. From a friend earlier. Oh, you got a gift from them. Oh, okay. Don't forget about Kabbalah and Barbella. I talked about that the other day. I don't know if we're gonna go back into Kabbalah again. Probably will, but I know this month we're probably next month we're probably not gonna hit that, but we still gonna stay um in the scope of Solomonic magic or Psalms magic. Okay, so we're still staying in the scope of that. But I don't think we have addressing Kabbalah again. We probably will at another time, but this month, next month going in, we're not addressing it again. Okay, not that specifically. Probably will though. Not to say I won't discuss it again, because you guys know I will repeat certain topics. If I think you need it, I will. Okay. So again, and sometimes you think, hey, my magic is not working. Okay. Now listen to this, because I wrote this down. During the angelic ritual, it is essential to create a space free of distractions. So again, you might have to do some path working. We talked about path working over there, and we're going to talk about it again next month. That's going to be so important. Your imagination is the key to the spiritual realm. Please tell me you understand that. Okay, I broke that all down. Your senses, your intuition, emotional state should be clear enough to receive insight or signs from the presence, from their presence. Okay, if your problem persists for a few days, do not panic. Patience and trust are part of the process. If weeks pass, consider whether your petition needs to be expressed differently or whether you are asking for external results before attending to an internal condition. Because maybe, and then people have that. You think you need this when really you don't need that. You need something, you need an inner quality in order to access that. You need to be healing in a certain area to access what you're asking for. Path working is so interesting. It is. It is interesting. Play with it. And it was unbelievable, a Seekers of No, when I did path working, because the ancestors was taking me places. I told you about the woman, I didn't understand what was going on. I was going places. And they were teaching me things, still do. Still teaching. They was teaching me something about time travel the other day when I was walking. I was like, I don't even want to have that conversation anymore because you're asking me. No, I don't want to learn about that because I don't know what crossed my mind, but we were talking about time travel and they began to explain it to me. And I was like, no, I don't want to know about that. But they were really trying to explain it to me. I said, no, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. But again, it's this is part of our practice, and we're going to go in more into shamanism next month. I'm going to woe you with that. You'll get more things to help you comprehend path working. I know it's something because you have these experiences and people that told you you making stuff up, but I guarantee you, you begin to document this stuff, it be spot on. It trips you out because it's so easy to do, it's so subtle, you know. It knock your socks off. I don't have the words for you. That's why people are jumping into shamanism and stuff. That's why you'll see that in chaos magic. And it works. Okay? And we're going deeper into that next month. So you're gonna get some more juicy books again, because that's the key to tapping into a lot of, I don't say that because that's probably saying too much. That's the key. You're gonna start to see that when I start giving you resources. That's gonna be a door for you to give you boundless access in your magic. Okay, and to have relationships, develop relationships with other spirits. Path working is the key. If you got your, again, this set up on the inside, your mind and stuff together, there's no limits to your magic. The more you work on your mind and your nervous system, the better your magic is going to be. That's key. Got it. I try to get your mind working right. I try to get get you going. And some of you don't want to take that. You want to take a shortcut. You gonna take a shortcut, and your life gonna be raggedy. That's what you see people doing, which we're gonna talk about that again next month when they start making these pacts with these spirits. And you can do that if you want to. You'll get yourself messed up, crossed up, and messed up. I don't recommend it. Do it this way, beloved. Do it the right way. Okay? The way your ancestors designed it for. Okay? Yes, ma'am. You're right. You must clear your mind before doing the work. Okay? Got to. Are you going in there trying to do some work and you mad at so and so, but you trying to do a love spell? That ain't gonna work. Because you mad, your emotions is not, the frequency is not there. Okay? Your vibration is not there to tap into that frequency. If you don't have control, over your emotions, again, this is self mastery. The more self mastery we have, the better the magic works. Are you going to be perfect? Probably not. Not saying you're going to be perfect, but you're definitely going to make progress on your magic when you start focusing on yourself and not on nobody else. Start asking yourself questions and stop asking other people questions. Sitting down with your ancestors and being quiet. That's where the answer's gonna come. I don't care what these other people telling you. I'm not here to bring no fluff to you and make it look pretty and all this stuff and just commercialize this. People commercialize this too much. And there you go. You think this magic. Then I got to sit you over here and show you how this stuff was saving, how Hoodoo was saving your ancestors' life. And then when you start doing it, when I tell you how to do it and set it up or whatever, and you contact me and say, Miss Penny, that happened. It trips you out because you thinking to yourself, is this really magic? Because I had to do such and such and such, but when it happened, your mouth just dropped. You kind of be mad on how come you didn't know that it worked like that. That's how you be. You be like, how come I didn't know that? I didn't know that they had me thinking this and that. Yeah, I know, because they commercializing this, selling things off as spells and things like that, knowing that you can't do it because you probably won't have that much success in it because you don't understand how it works. That's why they should not be showing that to you. Okay. Okay. Sometimes the angel you need is not the one who brings results, but the one who helps you adjust your mindset, your expectations, or your emotional patterns. I had that happen to me the other day. I was like, did the angel do what you want them to do? Absolutely. They did what I wanted to do. But did it do it in the way that I had designed? Absolutely not. That's what you have to do with when you start working with these spirits. You have to surrender to the point, knowing when to let go and let them fix it. Stop telling them how to fix it. You just told them, be specific about what you need to be done. And then you have to surrender again how it will unfold. You have no control over that. You have no control over that. And that's with me. If you are a worrier, if you're a person that worry all the time, then you probably need to be doing a whole bunch of chanting. You're gonna have to change your worry and start changing it into more affirmations and more chanting. If you're a person that like to sit that, and as soon as you catch yourself worrying, you need to start saying affirmations and start feeling those affirmations. You need to start tapping, get your mojo going, change your frequency again, and start listening to any type of music that's gonna uplift you and give you hope or any something like that. You're gonna have to flip that, okay? So if you, that's just a little thing, that trick that helped me because I was a warrior, so I had to learn how to flip that. As soon as that worrying got started, you know, start crossing my mind, I get them affirmations popping and start moving that stuff out. You got to really start trying. You have to make a conscious decision. You're gonna choose your thoughts and not stop letting these thoughts take advantage of you. You got to get back in control of your mind. That's paramount. To stop letting stuff just run through there. That's the problem right there. When you let stuff just run through there, I don't know how many spirits running through your mind, giving you impulses to do crazy stuff. Some of them might be trauma. Some of them may be spirits that you done picked up from other people. But you got to get control of your mind. You got to get somewhere and sit down. And I know you said, Miss Penny, it's hard with what's going on. I know. I know it's hard, sir, and I'm sorry. It ain't your fault. But you're going to have to slow it down and take back control. That's letting you know who got what's got control of you too. I just got through talking about it on my up there on TikTok, because I'd be damn if I ain't gonna even go into there because that's another soapbox. You got to slow that down, baby. Got to slow that down. That's where the magic is. Got to slow that down. Okay? But the one who helps you adjust your mindset, your expectations, and your emotional patterns. Magic can create miracles and sudden breakthroughs, but it can also require patience, self reflection, and steady transformation. You might have to have do ongoing work to pull back to be able to access magic, and that certainly has worked for me. Every time I heal some of myself, I was able to access, do certain type of stuff. I was like, oh my gosh, now I can do this after I did this. Yeah, now you can do it because that was in the way. You had to clear that out first. That's how it works. Don't get over here. Some people think too, I'm going to deal with the most powerful archangel. Don't do that. Go through that book, go through that resources, and find the one that's going to help you. Not the most powerful one, but the one that's lined up for you. Because the most powerful one, you probably won't be able to reach that frequency. You probably can't reach that high vibration because you ain't did enough healing. You ain't removed enough blocks to work with that angel. You're probably going to have to work with an angel first to remove those blocks and change your mindset so you'll be able to work with that angel. But if you have again, your thoughts are on a lower frequency, your emotions are on lower frequency, how are you going to access a angel or any deity of that matter if you're operating on a low frequency? See it all the time. You see them people jumping over there in them religions and stuff, and they ain't got their stuff together and they raggedy. I don't want you to be raggedy. I want you to be whole. I got people over there now, I have to question, are they doing the shadow work? Because very few people show up to those meetings over there. They pay for the shadow work thing, but they don't show up to the meetings. They don't do the group thing. And I'm like, okay, what are you doing? I want to help you. I'm doing the workshops. I put the poll out there to make sure you don't miss it. I'm here. I put the shot, you ain't fooling me. You ain't fool you can fool them spirits, but you can't fool me. They know when you do the work because you ain't gonna make no progress. You'll keep jumping from person to person to person until you are faced with yourself. Because that's where the magic is. Magic is not in another person, it's in you. If this what you really want. You can't keep running from yourself and think you going you going it's still a good mentor You're gonna be looking at you every time. They're gonna have you looking at yourself and not at them. They don't want you worshiping them. Okay, the idea is to have faith and confidence in yourself and your magic. I want that for you. I love when you call me, you contact me and say, Miss Penny, I did this work right here and it worked. I be like, good, keep going, because I want to see what else you can do, and then share it with the community. If it's something you want to share, help us, because it might help us. People have a hard time with work and consistency. They want spells and think it's easy. It's not. It's work. You show right, California 444. And I don't think it's so much people's fault. It's the way people presenting this. Before they even be showing you some or burning candles for you, they need to already tell you this. What are you doing to help this? Especially if they burning candles for you, they need to already be giving you some work to do. Joe do. They need to already be giving you some work to do. If they doing any work for you or anything like that, they already need to be giving you work to do. I'm gonna do this part, but you need to do this for 7 days in a row. You need to burn this candle and do this bath. I'm doing my part, and this is gonna take time for it to manifest. And every time you feel like it ain't manifest, then get your side crunk up again. Because that stops them from worrying you and tainting the work, getting on your nerves while you doing the work for them. Have them doing something. Instead of wanting something from the spirit, ain't doing nothing but getting on your nerves. If you want it, then you go over there and do your side of the work and move it along. But don't come over here trying to rush me, because I know what I'm doing. It's gonna happen. It may not happen in the time you want it to happen, but if you gonna worry about it, get on somebody nerve, go do some work. That's what folks need to be telling these people. Okay, they don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that. Okay, they don't want to hear that. A lot of people, they want you to use all your ashay and stuff to get that magic going. Now you're gonna use your ashay too. Now you come to me, that people come to me for a reading. I had a reading the other day, honey, and I know that baby wasn't expected, but I gave her some work today. I said, ma'am, do you have a I know she said, what? I said, do you have paper and pencil? Because you got work to do. I don't know what you thought this reading was about, baby, but you got some work to do. Your ancestors want you to do this work. Okay? Her ancestors want her to do this work. And so I gave start to giving her things to do, start getting her energy together and stuff. I said, be sure that you do that. Because this is what you need to get yourself together. Sometimes you come to me for a reading, I might give you some work to do. I might give you a spiritual prescription to get your energy together. If I feel, if I see something going on with you, I might give you some stuff to do. Your reader, it should be giving you stuff like that to do. When they see your energy is off like that, if they've been a reader for a long time, at some point they become healers. I think that's a byproduct with being a reader. You gonna pick up them cards. Either you gonna heal yourself or you gonna heal somebody. They're gonna turn you in, and you gonna heal. You pick up them cards long enough, you gonna heal. Anybody got them using them cards and they ain't healed themselves or healed nobody, I got to question what you're doing with them. Okay, but if you come to me, be prepared to get your have your pen and paper for a reading, because I might give you some work to do. I might tell you to take some baths. I might give you some scriptures to do to get your energy and stuff together. If I see something going on with you, okay, and sometimes that's needed. That's what the readings is supposed to help you get yourself together. It's for divine guidance and things to refine your energy. If that tarot, again, your reader, if they're experienced, they should provide you with something like that, some type of recommendations to help your energy, heal yourself, point you in a direction. I'm telling you, do this long enough, you turn into a counselor, you turn into, intuitive reader. Uh, you'll just, you've been in this long enough. The spirits start working with you with different types of things. That's the only thing I can say. The only word I have for it. And when I was going through our conjure books, It said our ancestors was like that too. Some of them was counselors, some of them was doctors, some of them was, I was like, oh my gosh. And then it helped me identify things in myself uh when the ancestors and was doing these transformations within myself. I didn't understand what was going on with me, especially when I started doing path work and shaman work. I was like, what is this going? Where is this going here? Okay. It's important to familiarize yourself with different angels and their powers. With so many beings available, choosing where to begin may feel overwhelming. A wise starting point is your zodiac angel. Start with your zodiac angel. You guys have heard me say that plenty of times. You have the book over there where we talked about that, where you can find the angels of your zodiac sign. Okay. As these angels resonate with your personality, temperament, and spiritual design. So the first thing I get you doing is working with the archangel of your zodiac. Start tapping into those frequencies, seeing what they can help you with, what type of qualities, attributes, and things like that they can help you with. That's one of the first things. I think that's the easiest way to start tapping into that frequency. We have covered that. And I recommend that you go through your guidebook. When we're talking about the angelic seals and calls, I was looking for that book a few days ago. It should be there. Okay. If you DM me and then I try to find it and give it to you, go in the chat and DM me in the chat, and it should be there in one of them angel books if you clicking on the links. I think I posted it there again. If you're clicking on the links that I posted it there. Okay. You couldn't find it. I'll try to find it for you. But it might be in one of the posts, and if you click on the link, it's hyperlinks in the post. I think I may have posted there, but if not, then I will find it and I will give it to you. We're covering it again. And we're gonna be covering angels again next month. I kind of keep them in your face because I know that's where you need to be. Okay. I kind of keep them in your face. Don't forget to DM me, secrets or no, and then I can drop the post in the DM in our community. That way you can go directly to the post. I can find the post and DM it to you. I like the membership. One of my favorite memberships, especially if you're doing the two. I got two favorite memberships I like. I like the Know Thyself membership because you get everything and you get the workshop and shadow work. That's for people who don't want to know anything. Then I like the ritual because it helps you amplify your rituals, get consistent with your rituals, and get more results with working with your ancestors and your and saints. So those are the ones I are my favorites. Okay. So you could take a look at that and see which one resonates with you. And take a look at that. So again, you working with the angel, your zodiac angel that's over your zodiac. Each zodiac has um an archangel over it. Okay. And we have a wonderful book, Working Magic with Angels by Silver Raven Wolf. Love that book because she has broken it all the way down. It may be some more books too where they mention it. But that's just one of my favorite books, you guys, because that's one of the first books I bought when I started working with angels. Had great success using that book. But she breaks that down and let you know which angels are perfect, work with each signs if you were to work with different angels. Just a very good resource. I'm in the basic membership currently. So you're in the $5 one. If you're ready to do some work, I would say, and you've been doing shadow work, if you've been doing shadow work and you can do that on your own, then I would say move over to the ritual. If you haven't been doing that, you need help with shadow work and healing and all that stuff, then I would recommend the Know Thyself. Okay. I would recommend the Know Thyself if you don't know anything about that because this requires accountability, which we're going to go into that again next month because you guys know I'm always giving you shadow work journals. I try to keep it in front of you, shadow work journals, something on healing. Um, I think we talked about the nervous system last month, maybe. Again, don't worry about it. If you can't find the book, then I will post it. I'll give it to you. Know that searching. Don't worry about the book. Just DM me when you get over there in the chat. If you, I tried googling the angel over my zodiac, but I don't trust Google with things of this nature. It may be incorrect. I trust you. That's why I was okay. All right, but just let me know. I'm going to and let me know, secrets to know. Just DM me, and I'll be able. Or you can go. I think we got a group chat over there, and I'll drop it in the group chat. But it should be a link over there. I could have sworn I posted that again, but just DM me, and I'll post it in the chat, and you can just go straight to the post on our platform. I don't mind. I'll do it when I get off here. Hi, Unleash Me Live. Okay. All right. So again, you're going to be working with these angels. The book, again, working with the zodiac sign. The book cautions against always going directly to the most powerful angels. I say that too, because you, like I just mentioned, you don't need to do that. Ain't gonna do you no good, no way. Especially if you can't reach that frequency. You may not even be able to reach that frequency and vibration. Okay. The greatest power does not always come from the highest ranking being or archangel. The true power comes from the relevance, the resonant. If you resonate with that angel, the better results you're going to get. And you will come to you think this angel because all of their attributes are not listed. Yeah. We get just a little bit of it and people kind of tell us what they do, but then you might start working with an archangel and they'll tell you, "Oh, I can help you with this too." And you be like, "Yeah, you can?" Like, "Yeah, I can do that too." Well, why that's not it? I didn't know you could do that. Yep. Matter of fact, let me give you a special sigil. So when you need to do that kind of work, you can put that sigil in your work and I can help you with that. That's how that works. Got somebody over there now. We didn't know that angel did such as other things. And honey, she got to telling me that angel, she said, Penny, Miss Penny, he helped you with this too. Did you know that? I said, no, I didn't know that, baby. She said, yeah, he helping me with this. I said, "Oh my gosh!" But you will have if you resonate with them good, and they want to work with you. They'll work with you on other stuff. They'll start telling you other stuff that they do. You get information don't nobody else know. Now I didn't know that, but she knew that. That angel told her that, and work with her on it. And look at that. Said there's overlap in powers and characteristics too. Sure is. You start seeing, but you ain't gonna know it until you set up your table and start working with them. Especially if you work with one that you get results with. Y'all work really good together, then he'll start tell or she'll start telling you, hey, I can do this too. You know, make this sigil like this. So when you make your sigil, they'll have you making a specific sigil. They'll have you design a specific sigil. It'll be your calling card between you and them. You might use this sigil in your candle work. You might use it in your petitions. You might use it in your mojo bags. But you ain't gonna know until you get these relationships going. So you trying to make friends with people. Now, you don't need to be making friends with people. You need to be trying to get close to these spirits. I'm trying to help you. If you let me. Okay. I want this for you. I want it for you. I don't want to keep it from you. I don't know how long you're gonna have me here. Which better take I think you should take advantage of it. Okay. Especially, the platform we have created over there very affordable, not breaking your bank, but it's gonna be some consistency. You can't get the results without consistency, beloved. You have to integrate hoodoo. This is a way of life. Anybody who has made any progress in magic, we know it's a way of life. Our mind is magical. You think magic. It has to be a lot of shifting happen. Shatura, turn on that air conditioner for me, baby. Uh, it's got to be some shifting happening. If you ain't shifting and reaching on high frequency and you want help from these high vibrational spirits, then you It's only so far you're gonna get. Okay? And shadow work is ongoing. The more shadow work you can do, the more magic you can tap into. The more awareness that you have, the better your match gonna be. It is $33 a month. That's what Elaine was asking me how much was to know thyself. It's $33 a month. The link is in my bio. Go straight over there to Patreon. Go and look at my link tree. And on YouTube, it should be on our again in our bio. Again, just click that link. It'll take you right over there to Patreon. Go to our channel page. It should take you straight over there to Patreon. Okay? You trying to make friends with people, but you should be making friends with spirits. This needs to be on the t-shirt. Yep, it do. It do. You trying to follow people, but honey, you need to be following the spirit. I'm telling you right now. You going to And I don't care what these people got on, these costumes. They got these costumes on and putting these titles on them. I keep telling you, I heard another spirit talking about it. Those spirits don't transfer over there to the spirit world. Them titles don't come over there. They only work over here. They only here to mesmerize you, to give them some type of authority over you. And some of y'all take the bait because you want somebody leading you. But you see where they get you. It's gonna get you somewhere you don't want to be. You're gonna be mad somewhere. Okay, then make sure that your ancestors, want you to be there. That's why I want you to be over there before you even get over there and get. I want you to, if you want to go into an ATR, good for you. If you want to go and go get a title, whatever reason you may want to go over there. I don't know why you would want to go over there. Do this first before you get over there, so you can go over there with your spirits instead of you going over there looking for spirits because you ain't got no relationship. And the Orisha are ancestral. These are ancestral spirits. I don't care what nobody say. Voodoo is too ancestral spirits. We're gonna go deep into that next month. I just showed you, seen where you go down hoodoo, you gonna run into voodoo. It ain't no way around it. And I told you that. Now I don't care what these people is telling you. You stay on hoodoo long enough, you follow your ancestors, you're gonna run into voodoo. And some most stuff is gonna trip you out because hoodoo is not religion, it's a spiritual practice. And when your ancestors want you to know some have some wisdom or some different medicine, they're gonna point you where they want you to go. Oh my God, Miss Penny, how long you been on live tonight? Did I miss a lot? Gonna have to catch you there. I don't think you missed a lot, baby. If you did, get on the YouTube and it's gonna be there. Okay, you can go back and watch it. Okay, you ain't missed that much. If you do, go to the YouTube channel. You'll be able to see all of it. Okay, do this first and then go over there with your spirits instead of go over there looking for a spirit, looking for these high vibrational frequencies. You ain't did no healing. You ain't got no relationship with your ancestors. And most of that time, like I told you, and you're gonna see, and most times I hope y'all done seen it in some of our resources. Your ancestors drag you over there, okay? Because you got to follow a whole different type of rules and all that stuff over there. And some of those religions are quite expensive, if I must say so myself. Okay, because you got to be paying for them old dudes, those ebos, all that stuff. Okay, make sure that's what you want to do. Because it's kind of pricey to be over there. Okay, make sure this is what you have this first before you go over there blind, and then you mad, and a lot of you get over there for the wrong things because you think you're gonna have power, but you supposed to be doing some healing and all that stuff over there too. And then when you get initiated in there, no, you're not gonna get them spirits automatically. Your school lesson begin about the religion. Your lesson begin. You start getting all these resources and books and all this stuff and learning more about that. The spirits don't automatically jump with you and start. No, you start opening up your mind, your spirit, and start doing the same work I'm telling you you do right now. The same thing. But to me, in my opinion, the beautiful thing about hoodoo, because it functions a lot like Obia. I can put all of them in there and work with all of them with no restriction. I can work with voodoo. I can work with the Risha. I can work with the saints. I can work with the angels because I'm not in a religion. I practice an ancestral magic called hoodoo, and we do juju. Okay. Yep. You get the rituals, everything with the know thyself. You get absolutely everything with the know thyself. I leave no good thing. If you get to know thyself, you get everything. You get the shadow work, you get everything. Everything comes with that. Okay. So that's why I like hoodoo because it's not religious. You'll get some people who do they are initiated in the Ifa. They do work with the coven or witch. Because that's the way they have compiled their practice. But it's again to grow the practice because it's supposed to grow. It's supposed to become more and more advanced the more you're in it. And I think that's what tick off the old hoodoo heads. They want to be stuck with the Bible. But it wasn't made. This is a spiritual technology. It's nothing like religion. I wouldn't want it to be stuck in one place like that. I that would be boring to me. You got them people over there in their religion over there now. The one was up in there, honey. They get bored up in there. They start using all types of music up in there, dancing up in there. They get bored in there because they're not sitting down studying it and really looking at the spiritual technology. So it goes off into shenanigans. Got the woman sitting up here talking about people's bedrooms and where she ain't gonna put her mouth and all that stuff. That ain't none of that stuff in your Bible. Now you just made up stuff because you bored. Because you won't get somewhere and sit down and try to figure out the spiritual science of your religion. So now you got to tell people what they do in their bedroom, and that's none of your business. That's nowhere in your Bible. Again, y'all just make up stuff. Okay, I wouldn't want my stuff to be stuck like that. I just don't want to be stuck like that by these different rules and restrictions and stuff. And spirituality is not that way. Now, do some of these religions, some of them have their place? I think so. Their job is to preserve the knowledge, but I don't think that our ancestors. I truly believe that these things that they're trying to initiate us into now, our ancestors were not meant to be no religion like that way they doing it. No, I don't think that our ancestors had this set up like that the way they doing it. No, not a religion. I think the patriarchs kind of forced them to put that like that. Is hoodoo the same as magic? Depends on how it's a science. What really is magic because I had to do A and do B to get C. So you're gonna do work to get some results. So I say it's a science. It's a spiritual technology that you don't understand how unseen subtle energies work. You don't understand how these subtle energies work. And once you start understanding that and applying things to it, you decide for yourself is it magic? Because to me, it's not. It's work. If you ain't in alignment with it, then it's not gonna help. What magic do is tilt the scales. If you're already going in that direction, say you're looking for a job, I'm looking for a job, I'm looking for a job. I'm putting in applications and it's not really going my way. Okay, then I do a spell. Everything is in alignment. I ask my ancestors, they say, okay, do this spell right here. This is going to tilt your scales. I do a spell, bam, I put in applications, I get a job. What did it do? It tilted the scale. It gave me favor. I was already in alignment with it. It gave me more favor, and now I got the job. That's how that works. If you're not in alignment with the magic, if you're not going in that direction, then the magic can't work for you. Just find a practice that fits you. Yeah. And that's what you do over here too. I let you find your own way. I don't know what's going to resonate with you in hoodoo. You might like working with water. I don't know. You might like you working with candles. Your ancestors might have you working with candles. They might have you working with jars, dirt. I don't know. You have to start looking at yourself. You have to start trusting your intuition and your spirit that it knows what it's good at. I got to get you going that way instead of looking at people. Stop looking at people to help you find your magic and look at you, look inside you to find your own magic. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Stop looking at that stuff might be pretty, but is that what your ancestors have for you? Is that what your spirit really resonating with? You might like it. It might be beautiful and everything, but that might not be the magic for you. See, some of us, we ain't sat down with ourselves, sat down and looked inside of ourselves. I got to get you to doing that. Ain't gonna do me no good to show you something and you absolutely have no idea how it works. You don't even know yourself. You don't even know your likes, your dislike. You don't even know what type of magic you got on the inside of you. You don't know anything. You don't know absolute anything about yourself. You know more about Beyonce, Chris Brown, and all them folks than you do about yourself. Okay, so I gotta get you sitting down so you can start seeing results. Ain't gonna do you no good to me to show you that and you don't understand how it works. And once you understand how magic really works, you're gonna think to yourself, I have done this like this. Why is they explaining this like this? Because this is really a science. They have already proved the power of your thoughts, the power of your emotions. They've already proven this. So why are we still calling this a magic? Our ancestors understood the metaphysical sciences. It is just science that people ain't taught us, and they got us caught up in all types of distractions and everything. Okay, is anyone else in the chat? Okay, yep. And you'll see. I like Damon Brand. Brand. What's his name? I think his name is Damon Brand. I think that's his name. He does some really good angel books. We have a lot of books from him as well in there. But I try to give you practical angel books and in different styles. um Too, if I think it's from a different perspective that you might understand it, then I will provide the resource to you. But I try to provide, as many resources I can from different perspectives because people learn in different ways. So if I think it'd be good, then I'll post it there. I composed one of his books. Oh, Elaine Lockhart, you composed one of his books. So you're a writer of sorts, huh? A editor or a writer. Okay, so again, the Damon Brands Archangels of Magic does a good job too. Yeah, I like his books too. Okay, because they have a lot of these people, they have participated in ceremonial magic, which we already know, Hoodoo already know. And so now they have come to the realization, oh, you could do this as a solitary, you can call on these energies. Well, we know our ancestors been doing it all the time. We've been setting up tables and all that stuff, calling on these spirits. Y'all the one didn't know, and y'all thought y'all had to be in the ceremonial magic to access these energies, but we've been knowing. We've been setting up tables calling on spirits. Okay. And so it's just a wonderful way they bring it to us, and it just perfectly again slides into our hoodoo practice. From following his books, I made one of my books. Okay, what's the name of your book? Are you working with those energies, Elaine Lockhart? Okay. And one thing too, when you start working with angels and stuff, they present good ideas. They start, if you find your mind shifting and you're having a lot of good ideas, or you're understanding spiritual concepts better, or you find yourself in a better mood, that is them. They do a lot of shifting. Oh, I've worked on the T. I know who you're talking about. I think that's the money magic book. I don't even think I put posted that book in our community. I don't think I posted in our community yet. But that's the money magic book. I know what it is. I've read it. I've seen it. I'm nerdy like that. I know you probably didn't think I was gonna know what you was talking about, but I'm nerdy like that. You'll be surprised. I'll be surprised what I do know when people start talking to me. But I know what you're talking about. I don't think I've posted that in our community yet. I haven't decided where I wanted to post that, but I have that book on hand. I don't think I posted it to the community yet because I didn't know where I wanted to post it. Oh, was it in my community? Okay. It might have been in my community. I didn't think I posted it. Okay. Yeah. And so I think that's the book on money magic that's in our community. I didn't think I posted it there, but I guess I did. Okay, so again, working with sigils, I'm going back to sigils now. Working with these sigils, these are calling cards and frequencies that help us tap in with the angels. You can trace these. I like tracing my sigils, and sometimes I'll put a little, make it a little artsy and put glittery on there. I like to be a little dramatic. Yes, the $5 a month one. Okay, okay. So I must have posted it in there. Okay, I must have posted it in there. I didn't think I did. I posted so much in there. How did it work for you? But again, even though they provide these books, I think it's a good idea to tell people you got to be in alignment with the magic. Okay? You get more results out of it. And then you don't even know if you need to be working with that particular spirit. There might be some blocks and things. Girl, it connected me with my father. Huh. That's interesting. Huh. That's interesting. I don't even know what to say about that. You gonna have me prying and open up another topic. He helped me out tremendously. Okay, okay, okay. That's interesting. Now I want to know more behind that story. How did that work for you? How did it come to that like that? That's interesting. But as long as you got results, I think that's the only thing that matter. Okay. So again, looking at these sigils, you'll see that with the seals. I think we're getting ready to dive into seals again too. Beginning of next month, we're gonna because I have to keep this stuff in your face so you'll know you'll have access to all the resources that you have. Okay, I don't want you to forget because I know that it takes a lot. It takes repetition and seeing this stuff for you start to absorb it and integrate it in your life. And I know if you see it enough and you read it enough, because that's just how the human mind is, we'll begin to start integrating it into our life. Start seeing things start to shift out and good things start to happen. Your life just becomes a lot better. And I know it takes time because it's a transitional process. That's why I said don't get overwhelmed. Take yourself patience. Be patient with yourself. Okay. Be very patient with yourself. I know you're gonna get over there in that community and you're gonna get see all that stuff and say, "Oh my God, Miss Penny, all of this stuff. Oh my, where do I start?" Don't get overwhelmed. You need to start with the beginning. You go back to ancestor veneration. Go look over those books. Look over shadow work, look over healing, psychic defense, and cleansing. That's the only thing you need to be doing before you pick up any type of doing something. Do that until you feel strong enough that you've moved out a lot of stuff, seen improvements in yourself before you do that. Okay, that was me laughing like that, overwhelmed. You can be overwhelmed because it is, especially if you love knowledge and you want to know a lot of things. It can get you out. It can get you distracted because you supposed to be doing this, but here you is reading this book over here on this. You ain't even did this. You know, it is a lot of food in there. So if you love knowledge and you want you love different types of hoodoo conjure books and things like that, we have some of the best ones over there. We do. We have some of the best ones, and you can't even imagine come next month what y'all gonna get. You gonna It's gonna be like Christmas every day for you. You're gonna be like, Miss Penny, no, you didn't. Yes, I did. I sure did give it to you. I sure did. Okay. And you're gonna have fun next month. You're definitely gonna have fun. Yes, I love knowledge. I need to be consistent with this. Yes, consistency is key. Okay. These spirits they deal with consistency. You can't be sometime with them. Okay. You can't be sometime with them. You have to be consistent. They have to know that you're for real. Because people play too many games. They used to people. I just told you, people try to like. They sitting up here watching people trick other people. That's, and you think they gonna trust us just because we did something 2 or 3 times? And here they is watching folks claim to be something, trick people, and got titles and everything. And you think they just gonna roll up on us and just start doing? No, 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 no. Because they see just as good as we do that people be up here tricking people with these costumes and titles and stuff. So they looking at your sincerity. Now you got some of them that is doing the right thing, but these spirits be looking at your character. They be looking at your heart. They be looking at your mind. So ain't no sense in of coming over here with the flake and the fluff and doing sometime in this and sometime in that. It don't work like that. Okay. When you gave a great insight the other day when you said we need to talk to elements on our altar and tell them what we need to do. We do. You have again when you're picking up these elements, these herbs and stuff like that. Don't just be shoving them in the stuff. You put that water on your altar. You need to be praying over that water, saying some type of protection or something over that water. Okay, when you put it on the altar, if you're using those herbs, again, you need to blow smoke over your herbs and things that you're using and bless them and talk over them and tell them about your intentions because everything is alive in your hoodoo practice. We don't just take herbs and start shoving them into stuff and pouring stuff. No, we don't do that. This is a sacred part. Everything that you pick up literally is alive on your altar. The oils, the herbs, the candles, everything is. I can't be. I know what you see up here. I'm so sorry that you see it, but you got to slow down. That's why I say your mind got to be together. You're going to a different spiritual realm when you start practicing magic. That's why you see most practitioners that deep in their practice, they do not stay around people because they live in a magical reality. And some of their magic is contagious. It's so contagious when you get around them, your magic just work because of all the ashay they got built up on them. Some of their magic is like that. It's contagious when you come in contact with them. When they tell you to do something they do, it work because of they done built up that much ashay. Their magic is contagious, and they can pass it on. Some of them like that. Okay, it's some practitioners like that. That's why you have a lot of them. They stay away. They don't want nobody either be around this world because you're talking about somebody who live in a whole different dimension that you stay in. Their reality is totally different from yours. They experience magic every day. It is a everyday thing. They talk to spirits every day. So a lot of the practitioners, you're not going to see them stay or have a lot of friends or be around a lot of people because they're just not going to jeopardize their work like that, all the work they're putting in. Okay, Miss Penny, what do we say to our herbs? Again, there's prayers and stuff in there. Have you been looking at are you in our community? Should be praying over the herbs there. I think there's a phrase in the Bible where it talks about where God has given us every herb for healing and all the things that we need. You can use, I forgot where that verse is, but you should be easily be able to look that up. You can use that, or I have my own little prayer enchant that I use to pray over my herbs. So you can write up your own prayer enchant that you say over your herbs. Okay, that's when your magic comes into. If you know you need to do that, then sit down and write up a prayer and a little chant to say over your herbs, or just say thank you so much for helping me in this work. And it don't have to be fancy, but to acknowledge them and slow down. Blow smoke over the herbs. Okay, thank them. Give a little offering. That's why you have some people that have cigar smoke or incense, and they'll smudge their herbs or roots that they're working with. Okay. But slow down and give thanks. It can be a simple prayer, or you can make up your own. I have my own that I use. Okay. So you can say your own, but again, it's happening in your magic. It needs to be some slowing down, honoring those spirits because they're helping you in your work. People say, I'm not working with no spirits. Yes, you is. Every time you're using herbs and oils and stuff, you working with spirits. So I don't know why you think you ain't working with no spirit. You're doing something spiritual. You're doing something magic. So why you don't think you're working with spirits? And I don't know anyone that's doing magic and not working with a spirit. Point me to one person that's doing magic without working with some type of spirit. You working with one. That's how this works. It trips me out when people want to have all sorts of magical altar and got no ancestor altar because they scared of the ancestors. You should be more scared than doing this magic, working with these spirits without no protection. What's wrong with you? What's the matter with you? What's wrong with you? You working with it, it just doesn't make sense. Cause now you working with spirits, raw dog with no protection. You don't even know you should be doing this or whatever. You don't have an ancestor altar in here, but yet you're doing all this crazy magic on this one altar. I don't It don't make sense. Okay, I'm going to start at the $5 level and brush. I'm still learning. Okay, you can start there. That's fine. Okay, but again, that don't I don't recommend it. And then taking down the ancestor altar and then wondering why things ain't going right, but you ain't consistent at the ancestor altar. Some, you're taking it down, but you won't. It don't make sense. When I see people I can tell they can cross themselves up. They keep crossing themselves up, and they will sometimes come up with an excuse of why they can't get the ancestor altar, but yet they want the ancestor to help them. I be like, what the, ma'am, sir, do the work. There ain't no way around that. Do the work. You want their help, but you're not gonna do your part. I just make it make sense. Do the work. That's why I be telling people. But you got to. A lot of people they done followed this person and followed that person, and now they got themselves all crossed up, and they don't want to sit down and do the work. Okay, you get that. You'll be surprised how many people that want to do. They say in their heart they want to do hoodoo and do all that stuff, and they want it. They love what they hear. But when it's time to do the work, they don't do it. Come see me and ask me how come this ain't working or whatever. Then I get the prying because I'm going to pry because I want it to work because I know this work. So once I get the prying and trying to see what you got going on, it always boils down to you not doing the work. They not connecting the dots between ancestors and the spirits. They not. And then I'm telling you, most of your ancestors are elemental spirits. We got for my God, we got mermaids and stuff up in here. We got fire spirits, Oya, Shango. My God, you seeing it for yourself. Now how you gonna do that? Because anywhere you go, you're gonna run into them ancestors. Anywhere you go. They let you know they with the elements too. They in plants, the high John Conquer, they let you know they everywhere. So how you gonna go do something, especially over in Hoodoo without them? Your ancestors are elements. You understand that? Your ancestors is the water, is the tree, is the fire, is the sun. Your ancestors are that. So how you gonna be picking up something without calling on them? They the very door to help you work with these spirits. And I'm not talking about your family either. I'm not talking about family. I got to say that too, because some of y'all think I'm talking about some of our regular family. Some of our regular family don't deserve to be on our altar. We're talking about elevated, beloved ancestors. I'm talking about ancestors that are angel like and saint like in nature. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about your recent family members. I wouldn't even recommend you work with them not unless they specifically said they want to work with you or they're pulling up on you wanting to work with you. But just slapping them on the altar and say, "Hey, I want you to do this." You ain't asked them folks and none of that. You just got them putting them to work. I don't recommend it. If they have not come to you in a dream, or if you have not specifically asked them, can you work with me? Now, some family members, they choose what they'll do with you. They don't help you with everything. They'll help you with specific things. They want you to pay them, and then they go on about their business. But again, asking them, and don't slap them on the altar because they ain't your slave or your servants. Now, your most elevated, beloved ancestors, known and unknown, they're very ready for you. They're ready for you to make. They want to work with you. They want you to make progress. They're here to help you elevate the bloodline. They know the work that you have to do, so they have the strength and the power to help you. Versus the family members that just passed on, they're still going through a progression evolution process. So they still doing some things to elevate themselves on the other line, on the other side. Okay, it is a transition. Then another dimension. They're not dead. They still got stuff to do. And sometimes you can be calling them for what they have to do on their own. Okay, that's why you get some of them that work. Some say, "I'll do this for you." Usually, family members they'll do this for you, and then they go and do something else because they got something else to do. So keep that in mind. And I don't recommend putting family on there. And I know a lot of people don't agree with that. We think our parents was the best thing in the world. We think I've when you start seeing the shadow work, because some of them didn't know that they had wounds on them. And they didn't know that they were passing wounds on to us. You're not going to see that until you start doing the shadow work and clearing that out first. And then deciding which ones you want to put up there. Okay? Because you gotta get weeds out of this garden. You gotta guard it. Being having an ancestor practice is like picking weeds out of a garden, especially when it comes to family. So when we start doing the healing and looking at this stuff, we're picking all these weeds out of the garden and working with the best ancestor, most elevated ones, especially family members. Why do they ask for things like food and sweets? Because it energizes them. It gives them energy to move. When we remember them, they live, it gives them power to live even more through us. Okay? It gives them food, gives them medium. A medium told me is taking care of a medium told me is taking care of my babies. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Okay, why do they ask for things like food? And then some people say they eat their ancestors' food because they are the altar, so they'll eat the food and all that. Everybody's practice is different. Some people they set out the food. They are the altar. They'll take in the food. They'll drink the liquor and all that stuff. Then you have some people that have the altar. They set that out. But again, the remembrance of them, the sincerity of that gives them energy. Okay, being remembered. Just put yourself in that position. If you was not here, how would you feel if somebody was sitting out food and stuff and pictures remembering you? And giving prayer to you, how would you feel? Let's switch. Let's switch. Let's put ourselves. I don't think we see things from one perspective sometimes. So if you were not here and your grandchild was remembering you and setting out food for you and had a picture of you and talking to you and had a counter, how would you feel? Let's look at it from a different perspective instead of one perspective. Let's shift this around. Let's shift this around. How would it make you feel? Come on back in here, Brooke. Come on back in here. I want you to answer this question. R. Brooks, I want you to answer this question. Don't leave. I want to hear your response. How would you feel if you were not here? You on the other side, but your family, your grandkids, they love down. They gonna remember you. They set out pictures and food and stuff for you to remember you and send you love. How do you think that would make you feel? I would love to do anything for them. I- How would you think that feel? They're remembering you. They will not let your memory go. And every chance they get, they set out food for you, they set out candles for you, and send love to you. You're gonna like that. See? The same thing they feel, and that gives them energy. That gives them energy. Just the thought of that. They remember that. And that's something somebody probably ain't did in a long time. That gives them energy. Okay? Now look at it from their perspective. Let's think of what if somebody was doing that to me? And some of us, we don't stop for a moment to think of it from that perspective. But honey, you start messing with me, honey, your mind gonna be working. I'm gonna have your mind shifting and working and looking at things from different perspective. Okay, I understand now. Thanks. You're welcome. I'm gonna have your mind shifting and working, looking at things from different perspective, because that's truly when we look at our God self, we can look at things from different perspective. Instead, they messed our mind up over there. They got us thinking, looking at things from one perspective. But you got to remember, the Most High, you can't put this kind of knowledge in the box. It's too wide. It's too many options. It's so many ways to look at something and get medicine out of it. Okay, and so I got to get your yeah. Raquel said I would be honored. I would feel honored. Okay, so that's what happens when we honor our ancestors. They love that. Okay, but we make the choice. We let them make a choice whether they want to serve us or not. And then you'll have some family member that'll show up in a dream or something, and they might want to work with you and tell you, hey, just put some liquor there. I do that. But after this, I'm gone. You got some people that work with ancestors like that. I'm gonna help you with this, but then I'm gone. You know, you have some, and then you have some that come in. They specifically want to work with you on specific things. Okay. But for the most part, we are in contact with our most beloved, elevated ancestors. This is to ensure not all ancestors are good. This is why we're very specific when we say the most elevated beloved ancestors. We're very specific, so we do not call in any lower vibrational ancestors. We don't want raggedy ancestors in there. We got some. We don't want to work with them. We pray for them. We pray for their soul that they do better on the other side. But we want to work with the good ones, okay? Because that's what we need right now. We're very particular about that to make sure you're coming in contact with healthy, vibrant ancestors, okay? We don't just call on any ancestors. We don't do that. We call on the most healed ones, okay? Very specific with that. A lot of people say, well, I'm scared, our ancestors good. I'm very aware our ancestors ain't good. That's why I'm saying this like this, okay? That's why I'm stating this like this. You need to get upset with the people just telling you to call on ancestors and not breaking ancestral veneration down to you and helping you understand it, because you're gonna fully understand it over there. You're not gonna be confused. And I tell a lot of the practitioners over there now, I know a lot of y'all think, well, Miss Penny, I don't know enough. Yes, you do. You know more stuff than a lot of these people know because of the things that I expose you to. And I'm going to always give you advanced knowledge. If you start opening up your mouth with the stuff you done read, you're probably going to shock people because you know a lot of things that other people, they just getting little bits and pieces, but you getting the whole McCoy over there. So yeah, yes, you do know a lot. I've been too general with my ancestors. I would, they can see right through you, so ain't no sense in up there faking a job. And if I'm pissed off or mad, I go right to that altar like that with them ancestors because they see right through me. I was mad the other day. I said, well, I don't like this, ancestors, and I was having a problem with that. And yeah, I was a little upset with you because I wanted that, I had an idea in my mind what I wanted this to look like. It got the job done, and I appreciate what you done, but I was kind of salty because I had in my mind what I wanted to look like. They already knew what it was. Okay, might as well be real with myself. Sense of coming with this is not church where you sit up and pretend and say flattery stuff. No, you be real with these spirits and authentic. And the more you can do that, the more you gonna tap into your own authenticity. But be real. Don't come over here with that faking job. No spiritually, right? Ain't no sense to come up with all these flamboyant words and fancy words. You don't need that. You don't need that. Moses thought the same thing. What he tell the Most High? He said, "I can't talk these words. I'm not a fancy speaker like them." And God said, "Though it still don't change your job. I don't care if you can't talk. Okay, since you're gonna keep on doing with you, He can talk for you, but you still you still gonna do it. You still gonna do this. You still the prophet. You still gonna use your mouth. Either way it go. So I don't know what's wrong with you. Okay? Moses still had to do his job. So again, it don't make and God still told him it didn't take him being fancy. But still, Moses, he didn't believe that he had the words. But God was satisfied with what Moses had. He was the one that didn't believe in his, in his speech. I crashed out the other day badly, and then they sent me a hilarious signs the rest of the day. See, you have to be like that with them. They want to see it. I haven't been authentic with them. They want to see it. I be just a matter of fact. If I'm cussing and mad, I'm be like that. Them people made me mad. Them rascals piss me off. You know what I want to do, ancestors. Be a matter of fact with them. They want to see that. They are the therapy. You don't need to be calling your friend and telling them your business. You need to be going to the altar. That's your issue right there. You telling the wrong people your business. It can't even help you. Them folks can't even help you. And the spirits that can help you, you ain't open your mouth then. You don't know when to open your mouth. Okay, Miss Penny, what if you get a visit or a vision of people you don't know who don't look like you? That might happen. You probably need to be asking, is that a distant relative? And sometimes you got ancestors that adopt you because we're going to ancestor veneration. You got ancestors that don't look like you that has adopted you and that's working for you. You'll get that too. If you're doing something that they highly interested in and they like what you're doing, that they'll support you. I would do a divination on the cosign. It might be some, or maybe they coming to you for help, one or the other. But I would definitely do a divination on there. And like I told you with this ancestors thing, you got ancestors that will adopt you. They ain't even got to be your family. They can like something that you're doing. They can like that you're a singer and say, "Oh my gosh, they're a singer," or whatever. I'm gonna support them. It might be Whitney Houston or somebody. I'm just using that for an example. Or Mahalia Jackson. They see that you singing gospel or whatever you're doing. They say, "I'm gonna support her. I'm gonna open up doors for her. I'm gonna give her extra range in her vocals. I'm gonna, you never know." And these celebrities have been letting you know that they work with some of these spirits or these people that crossed over in this capacity sometimes. But you have ancestors like that. Okay, they see you, they might adopt you up under them, and they might start working with you. Ancestors is just a wide scope. You don't know until I sit you down and you start reading the resources about ancestral veneration, and that way you strengthen your practice with them. Okay? But the best way I can explain it and help give you clarity on it is that ancestors are saints and angels. We're talking about elevated ancestors. You have to see it for yourself. Okay, understand and sit down because they think you just with family and you don't understand that. No, 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 no. When you start looking at these saints and angels, you're gonna say, you're not gonna be able to tell the difference between a saint, angel, and ancestor. Sometimes I can't tell the difference because the frequency is so high. It's almost the same frequency. I can't tell the difference. I crashed out too much sugar on hand. It's part of the process. They got my back on track. Yep. They want to see that from you. Okay. It just helps you better work with them. It helps you tap into your creativity and be true to yourself and your magic. Yeah, they can adopt you. We talked about that with affinity spirit. So look at what you're doing right now. What goals have you changed the goal? You got something going on that you're specifically trying to work on, you know? Because you got to say you're doing some revolutionary work where you might have what's his name, Huey P. Newton pull up on you, Fred Hammond pull up on you, Asada Shakur pull up on you. These are the spirits we have in our ancestral lineage. They might pull up on you and say, "Okay, we're gonna protect them because they're doing revolutionary work and all this, all this stuff." So we're gonna make sure we protect them and put them, have them up under our wings. We You'll have spirits that do that. They'll adopt you. They're attracted to what you're doing. Okay. And you have some people that know this. I've known some people that know this. Like when I was doing, first started my conjure practice, the first people that I started wanting to come work with me was like Marie Laveau and Aunt Caroline Dye. So I would keep a picture of them like above my altar. Okay. And I did all the research and all that stuff on them, learning more about them to kind of invite them in my work and to invite me in my support. Who else did this? I think it was somebody else. It was some type of actress or something. They said they did the same thing. Was it Maya Angelou? I think it was Maya Angelou. It was a poet, some type of speaker, but they said they kept on talking about this particular ancestor over and over again. They kept talking about her story, and they had her picture on the wall. And they said the last time they told her story, uh, her picture fell off the wall, and she knew that was going to be the last. That was the end of her working with that ancestor, and so she went to talking about something else. So when again too, when we start talking about their stories and talking about them as well, we start to interact with them. You can invoke them that way. Okay, but you have some ancestors, like I said, if you are doing a particular thing, you got a particular purpose or something like that, sometimes they will adopt you. They'll start watching out for you, and you don't even know it. Okay, so look at that. I saw some Australians. Okay, okay. So look at what you're looking at, what kind of goals you got going on, and I would do a divination too. But some ancestors you would just not recognize. You won't even put the pieces together. You won't even put the pieces together because what's in our bloodline, especially women of color. I told you I had that man telling me. I even see that here in Thai. I told you I had that man telling me that I was Filipino, and I'm like, no, I'm not. You know, but that man was a matter of fact. He was an older gentleman. I was in my 20s, and I was like, no, sir, I'm African American. He was like, no, you're not. I was like, what? How the hell you gonna tell me who I am? I know I am. And he got talking about the shape of my head and my eyes and all that stuff. He said, you are Filipino, and I said, no, I'm not. I'm not that. Never heard anything, of that until I saw these people with my own eyes, and I was like, wait a minute, maybe he may be on to something. I'm not saying I don't have that in my DNA because it's again with women of color, we have a wide range in our DNA. So maybe he was seeing something that I wasn't seeing. But it definitely made me take another look at how I look and you know, so you just never know what's in your bloodline. And you may see ancestors, you probably can never put the pictures together. Because I've seen ancestors, I'm like, how, what? You know, and they've told me, you don't need to understand it. You don't need to understand it. I'm your folks. And I get that same feeling when I know I told you I get this feeling when I see somebody who's a relative of mine. It's this feeling that comes over me. I can't describe it. It's this, I don't know. I can tell if you are bloodly related to me, a feeling come over me. And the ancestors get really chatty. They be like, them your folks, them your folks, them your folks, them your folks. That's your folks. That's your folks. Them your folks. That's your folks. Girl, them your folks. I be like, okay, okay, okay. They are my relative. They're some kin to me. They do it every time this feeling comes over me and they get really chatty. I don't understand how it works, but that's how it works. And sometimes I can get that feeling when I see them see something I don't understand. And I be telling instance, how's that work? They said, don't try to understand it. Them your folks. And sometimes you'll get that. That happens to me. I can't put any of those together. How these people could be related to me, or how that is. And the ancestors tell me, don't worry about it because them is your folks. And I have this feeling on the inside of me. It's this feeling that I get. So, you know, Miss Penny, December Christmas. We going to be talking about Anna Christmas. We can. We can talk about Anna Christmas. Okay. Do we have any books on Australia Aboriginals? No, we don't go into Australia. I don't think. Wait a minute. I think we do. It is an author that talks about that a little bit. I think, what is her name? It's gonna come to me in a minute. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I don't want to say the wrong book because I have covered so many books. But if I'm not mistaken, I think we're gonna be dropping a book by Stephanie Rosebird, and I think she talks about really the Aboriginal Australians, but she talks about it because they were good with the dream world. So I think she's going to be talking about that. We're covering a book like that, so I think we're going to cover a little bit about that. She talks about that in her practice. And it's funny that you had mentioned it because I just did that lecture yesterday and dropped it for next month for you guys. And now you're mentioning this. That's crazy. Okay. But yeah, she talks a little bit about Australian Aborigines in her book. And you'll be able to, I'm dropping some interviews in there from her as well. Because again, uh, when we're looking at these books, and of course, I've dropped some interviews in this month from the author. I want you guys to get to know these authors, not just read the book, but again, come in contact with people that know about the practice. Okay? Because they're going to be talking just because they're nerdy. Most of them nerdy like me. They know their stuff. So you can know what this looks like. Okay? You'll have better discernment when you're listening to practitioners. Okay? So, again, listen to what these authors are saying because they know what their book is talking about. They know about this practice. A lot of them are long time practitioners, and some of them are in ATRs. So again, I want you to know what that looks like, and sit down in a conversation and learn something, and not try to get somebody showing you a 3-minute magic something and you don't even know how it works. Okay. So again, you're going to get a lot of interviews with these authors. My great grandma's maiden name is Patricia Patty Christmas. Oh, how cute. Does he look black? Okay. Miss Penny December Christmas. We are going to talk. We might talk about Anna Christmas. No, you're not. Okay. So let me dive in here and finish this up. I want to keep you guys long. Okay. The sigils can be placed inside mojo bags, carved into candles, written on petitions, or hidden within spiritual baths and oils. They can be placed on altars to invite the angel's presence. That is usually how I'm going to tell you to set it up. If you're setting up an altar to an angel, there needs to be sigils and seals out to that angel. I prefer that you set up a table with them. It just helps, again, focus the energy and concentrate it. Stop trying to put a lot of stuff on the altar. Do not put like pictures of statues of Oshun and Mama Watson. Don't put them on your altar, on your ancestor altar. They don't go there. Do not put Oshun, Shango. Don't put them on your ancestor altar. They do not go there. They do not go there. I know you don't want to hear that. They don't go there. That's a different type of energy. All right, let me tell you that because I've seen some people do it. They do not go on your ancestor altar. That is a different type of energy. There should not be picture on your ancestor altar. It should be only things related to your most elevated ancestors. There should be no pictures of Shango up there. There should not be no Oshun up there. That it should not be there. That's dedicated to your ancestor altar. Do not mix it up. These are different type of frequencies and different type of energies. Please do not mix that up. It is not the same. You're going to find yourself having some hard times and tripping yourself up, and you ain't going to know why. Because you sitting up there to mix that out up like that. Mixing up energy. Don't do that. Hey, Dales. Do not do that. Okay? Get your stuff right with your ancestors first before you start trying to mix. Don't mix that up. Okay? I want to say that. If you're going to be working with angels, they need to have a separate little area where you're working with that uh, a particular angel, that frequency with that stuff that they like. Because we're trying to let them know we got something special for them. We particularly want to work with specifically them. Set that up. Be nice. If somebody wanted to work with you, Let's look at it from another perspective, because I got to do this because some of y'all, our mind is so stuck in stuff. We don't know how to look at stuff from another perspective. If somebody wants to come and see you, would you want them put stuff out there you didn't eat and you didn't like? Is you gonna come by and see them and they put stuff out there you don't like? Is you gonna really get? If they gonna get your attention like that? You don't like uh let's say you don't like broccoli, but they steady putting broccoli out there for you to attract. Is you gonna go there? If you know somebody like you say, girl, that's all we got to eat is broccoli, and I want you to come, and you don't eat broccoli, is you gonna show up for that? No. Okay. Same thing with a spirit. Use your mind. They're the same way. Same thing. You want to attract them there, so you want to put things out that they like. Okay. If you know they like these particular flowers, put them flowers out there. You know, like they like a particular metal, then put that metal out there. They like silver, put a silver coin out there. Okay. They like a particular herb, make sure that you dressing their candles with it like that, or you're putting it out for an offering. Your thing is to sweeten up the relationship to get them there. Okay. So when they get there, they love staying there. They're more likely to show up. This is how this works. Be consistent. If you just your first time calling them, it might take you, if you haven't had any results and you've been calling on that angel and no dreams or nothing has kicked up, nothing is kicked up. You ain't had no dream, ain't nothing happened. You ain't feeling nothing. You've been going in the path working. 'Cause we try that too. And you feel like you ain't making no connection, go on to the next angel. Take it down. Do not take it personally. Apparently, there's some blocks going on, something you need to heal. Ask yourself why you contacted them. Is it something that you need to heal in yourself? Again, go back to you. Take it down, and you're probably going to need to do some healing. Maybe put up work with another angel who can help you remove blocks before you go work with that angel. But more than likely, if you go with the angel that can remove blocks, they're going to help you be able to do the stuff that you're trying to do. Because you'll start to learn, just because they say they only do this and this and that. That angel tells you they do something else. Like I said, when you start working with them. Okay, but if you ain't had no contact, you've been doing this for 2 weeks straight and you've been consistent, you've been on time to the altar, and you ain't felt nothing, you don't really feel like it's nothing jumping out, then you probably need to go on and start working with another angel. Do not take it personally. It just happens. Some angels and spirits you resonate with, some you will not. Don't take it personal. Take it down, do some more research, and go on to the next spirit. Ask your ancestors too. Should you be working with this spirit? Sometimes you could take a shortcut with that and ask your ancestors before you even get that going. And you don't even you won't waste your time and do that. Okay. That's my thing. I've been doing this for 2 weeks because I can't get my time back, and time is already there. So to avoid all that, make sure your divination is together and you're asking for guidance from your ancestors. Okay, Miss Penny, I will be in and out of your live chat. Am I still listening to Ian? Thank you in your chat. Really appreciate your thoughts and knowledge. You're welcome, Raquel. Yes, this is very key. And they can bring you other angels. Yep, they can. They'll bring you other angels. I think another angel that's good to work with is Raziel. Raziel, he will bring other angels to for you to work with. You'll see that with Raziel. He's an informally, he does a lot of work of connecting you with other angels. Okay, he's like the gold liaison between those other angels. So if you work with Raziel, he can help, put you in contact with angels. If you got our book and you're looking through that, you're gonna see Raziel be mentioned a lot of time when it comes to working with other angels. Raziel is gonna be mentioned a lot when it comes to working with different types of angels. Yes, this is okay. Okay, the angels of 42 letters, because that's what you see in the book. It's going to talk about the angels of 42 letter name are particularly useful for emotional work and self discovery. So when you get your book, Angelic Sigils, Keys and Calls. Remember, I said healing, and that book definitely mentions that. Do not skip that. Okay, that's a lot of reason why I have you working with angels, getting things like that, to again to help you heal in a lot of areas. I really like Bartiel. Also, Raphael is amazing and can do lots of stuff. Yeah, Kosan, she's had good results. I've seen her results. She's talked about her results she had with working with the angels. I mean, her practice is in full swing over there, and she's has dedicated her time to doing that. And she found out Raphael can do other stuff. Yeah, here she is. Shout out to the angels because she got results with it. She just followed all the guidelines that we provided over there. She was consistent with it. Bam, she got results. That simple. It's really that simple. She got somewhere and sat down and did her work. That simple. And she got results. She was determined to get results. She got results. Okay. Uh, so again, the 42 letter name are are useful again for emotional work and self-discovery. If your results are blocked, there may be emotional barriers or past wounds preventing the flow of results. This is not a failure, but an invitation to healing. It's a time to heal. And believe me, do not sleep on this because you'll be surprised when you heal stuff. They love that. They bless you even more. It's going to trip you out when you see it. You're going to be like, dang, that's all I had to do. That's all you had to do. You won't even see the blessing coming. You may not even have to do that spell work no more because you sat down and you faced yourself and did the healing. They love that because that's what you're here for. You think you're here to get all this power and money and all that stuff. No, you're not. Get that out your head. Will they help you with that? Yes, they will. But most of the part, they want you to develop yourself spiritually. You're talking to some spirits now. You're going to have that. But these spirits right here they don't want to see you raggedy. They trying to help you. That's a byproduct of getting better. You're gonna get the abundance and prosperity. I know you see people. I don't like that they're making it like that, you guys. Yes, they're gonna make sure they take very good care of you. You won't need anything. But for the most part, these spirits, they want to see your elevation. The spirits that I'm talking about right now. That's what they're interested in. They want to see you whole. They want to see you heal. They want to see you with joy. They want to see you with love. They love those higher frequencies. They want to get you there. Okay. And they know when you get there, everything is going to flow to you perfectly. You're going to be in alignment with abundance and prosperity. But if the inside don't change, then that stuff ain't going to come. Okay. This is how this works. You may call upon an angel who works with emotional clarity or add to your petition that you are willing to confront and heal that area. The practice of writing your ritual beforehand is described as highly beneficial. I would say do this because as soon as you start doing this, you're opening yourself up uh, to the angel and to a successful ritual. You're already organizing it. You're kind of doing the ritual in your head before you do it. So I do, a lot of us typing and we're talking into our thing, but again, we're trying to access the subconscious, the magical part of our minds, and the way you do that is through writing. So I do recommend that you write down your rituals, document them. Writing by hand shifts the consciousness, calms the mind, and prepares the spirit to receive. You'll have me too. Say if you calling that angel, go there with paper and pencil because they sometimes they can give you inspiration so fast you know, you won't be able to remember it. Write it down because I see a lot of people, they just automatically, when they call on the angel, they go there with a paper and pencil because they know what's going to happen. They finna start getting all these inspirational thoughts, all this information, the downloads going to start coming through, and they're not going to remember it all. So they're going to have to write it down. Okay. The physical act of writing brings intentions from the unseen world into the physical world. Because again, you're writing down thoughts. That's very magic. I mean, that's very magical. You're putting words to your thoughts, making them tangible. as well. So that's a magical process because you have these spirits talking to you telepathically and you are interpreting it, putting it on paper. So do not dismiss the power of your writing or your mind. Okay? Writing is a sacred act, a doorway into a higher mind, a tool for better communication with spiritual forces. The more familiar you become with angels and their specialties, the more effective your rituals become. Now, saying she can attest to that. Now she has way to contact the angel. Has given her access to contact them directly. Gave her a shortcut to talk to them. Okay, and then told her which days and which planet should be working with doing her magic. They can get that specific with you. Okay. Angelic Sigils, Keys, and Calls is not simply a book of angelic magic. It is a guide to co creation, emotional mastery, spiritual responsibility, and divine communication. It teaches the practitioner is not a passive observer in life, but a conscious shaper of reality who stands in partnership with both God and the angelic realm. When approached with sincerity, clarity, emotional intelligence, and discipline, intention, the system becomes a powerful spiritual technology that aligns destiny, supports healing, and strengthens the practitioner command of their own life. Okay? Sigil magic work because it bypasses the critical doubting mind and communicates directly with the subconscious. Because now again you're looking at that sigil, and again you're programming the subconscious mind to move it along. This makes a lot of more sense. It makes a lot of more sense when you start to experience it. I'm gonna say it that way. The subconscious governs emotions, intuition, and the unseen forces that shapes our experiences. When we charge a sigil, we're embedding a new pattern within the deeper layer of the consciousness. Okay, so we're accessing part of our consciousness too. And like I said, a lot of these energies are a part of the collective consciousness. So we're accessing too information that's already inside of us. How do you come up with your own? Oh, we talked about that as well. Now you can come up with your own sigils depending on what you're doing. Depending on the intention. Are you making a sigil based on your intentions? Are you making, hey, Royal Goddess, are you making a sigil? What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you can make your own sigil, but it depends on your intentions of what you're using it for. Are you using it to call another spirit? Is it going to be a short name for a spirit? Is it going to be a short name for the intentions that you set? Is it going to be short name for a spirit that you created? Again, protection kind of undo what's been done as well. Again, what's going to be the word? Write that out, write that all out, and then start designing your sigil. It's really that simple. But if you don't know about it, then you probably shouldn't be doing it. Don't do it because you can't learn it from here. So stop. Please don't try to learn a lot of stuff from somebody like that. Get somewhere and sit down and learn it properly. If you don't know how to do it, then you probably don't need to be doing. You probably need to get somewhere and sit down and study it. And this is information out there. But what I've noticed here is that you think that you can learn everything from social media, and you absolutely cannot. You have to get somewhere and sit down and study that. Okay, you're getting bits and parts of things. Even if I was to explain that to you, you still need to sit down and learn that for yourself and research that. Study this for yourself. And if you don't know how to do it, then you probably don't need to be doing it. If you have not studied that, you don't know how sigils work or none of that, you need to sit down and learn about it. Because even with me telling you about it, it's not giving you enough context for you to do it yourself. So I don't recommend that you do it. Someone's done it to me, but I'm not sure how to undo. You need to start with baths and protecting yourself. That's simple. Start saying some psalms. Start saying doing some spiritual bath. Get some herbs, some chamomile, some lemons, some uh, vinegar. Start taking baths. Okay, if you don't know how to do that magic, don't do it. Okay, just start with trying to protect yourself. Usually, I don't know what's this thing with this. I have to ask people to. I do know people do curses and they throw juju and stuff on people. But then we have to ask ourselves, are you that important for somebody? What do you have where they want to put a curse on you? Why? Why would they be benefiting from that? Because some of us ain't got curses, and some of us is crossing ourselves up because we're saying something else and we're doing something else. But how important it is. What if they're gaining? What do they have to gain by putting a curse on you? Is it money? Is it your mind? Is it, what do they have to sit there and ask yourself there? Why would they put a curse on me? What do they have to gain? What have I did to them to give them the power to put a curse on me? Is it an energy cord there that gives them the power to put a curse on me? Why would they want to put a curse on me? Am I that important? How am I impacting their life where they will want to put a curse on me? Let's sit with that because people, usually if somebody is doing it, it's for a reason. People, and most people that think they got curses on them, they don't. They don't. When I sit down and talk to them, I find out that they crossing themselves up and they got a lot of gunk on them and they need to do some bathing and psychic protection. But really think about that. If you think you curse or somebody, what do you have that they want? What did you do to them? Because usually somebody doing that kind of work is they doing it because they getting a benefit. They benefiting from it. I don't see why would you want to do a curse on nobody that don't benefit you no kind of way. They ain't giving you no justice. You don't know that person. What is it doing for them? Okay. I really like Bridget. Okay. Think about that because all of us say many people ain't got people that is doing that left-handed work. Usually if they're doing a left-handed work, it is justified. It's because you have did something to them to offend them, and that you're giving them an energetic frequency again to do the work on you. If somebody's doing a curse of left-handed I usually somebody doing that, they're doing something, they get some kind of benefit out of it. It's gonna help them in some type of way. They're just not doing it just to be doing it. So then you have to ask yourself, what do they have they want? Why would somebody do a curse on me? How is that gonna help them? What have I did to them that make them want to put a curse on me? For one, for one, no. For a fact, I crossed myself up. You might be crossing yourself up. Okay. Abundance. You say you want abundance, but you can't have nothing because you're not managing your money. Look at your debt. Look at what your money got going on. What bills are you paying? I've seen people come in with this and they say, I need the money. I need this. I got it. And then I pull back their cards and I find out it ain't that you ain't got it. It's that you're not managing it correctly. You got it. But you cross yourself up because you don't manage it correctly. You got scarcity and deprivation and all those type of wounds going on with you. You got scarcity wounds going on with you. You got a lot of childhood wounds that's connected with money that makes you think that it's your abundance. Somebody's got your abundance when really no, it's the way you're looking at money and managing your money, your relationship with money that's got you crossed up. Yeah, I do readings. I do astrology readings where I look at your chart. If you're one of those people say, I have my chart, Miss Penny, but I don't know the magic I should be doing. I don't know what gifts I have. I have my natal chart, but I don't know. Give it to me. I'll break it down hoodoo style. That way, you know exactly the magic you came here with, the work you should be doing, the shadow work, and what your goals should be when it comes to your work here. That's what the astrology uh chart does. And then I tell you about what's going on now, what could be impacting you now, and start getting you in alignment with it. Okay, to start getting your energy refined and doing the work. And then I just have the regular tarot reading. And maybe you have your chart. You say, Miss Penny, I got my chart, but I'm stuck right here in this placement in this chart. I can't get out of this loop. You might need me to help you shift it then book a tarot card reading. Okay. If you have something going on, you don't know what's going on, you have the chart, but you just want a tarot card reading, book a tarot card reading. Okay. The tarot card readings are $35. The astro readings are $15. And there are reviews on my TikTok shop. I mean TikTok shop on my TikTok platform. They're pinned. Um, they're pinned there on my TikTok profile. So if you want to go look at those reviews, I got I still got. I haven't even posted all my reviews. You know, I haven't even posted, but there's reviews there. If you're saying, "Hey, I want to know if you the truth," then the reviews are there. Okay, me too. Even though I'm sitting down and being quiet, I'm working though. See, okay. So again, I'm still being regular a little bit. Go on, Black Magic Mike. He done come in the chat. I'm gonna do an Angels of Wrath ritual on a former boss and coworker that helped me lose my job and some security guards that targeted me a few years ago. I keep a list. I know that's right. You got one of them lists, Black Magic. Say, I don't forget, you gonna go on that altar one with the other. I'm gonna put you on that altar. I'm gonna stretch you out and do something with you. Go on, Black Magic Mike. So look at that. Black Magic Mike said these people, hey, uh they made sure he was fired and made him lose his job or whatever. Now he has an energetic cord. He has a right to do that. Okay. Now he can put in some work on these people. And don't dismiss the angels because you got some cold blooded angels that will put some people on their back. This angel, some of these angels are not light and love. Don't think that you can't get over here and you work with angels and they can put some people on their back, especially Archangel Michael. And you got some of them saints too that don't play no joke. Okay, you got some saints too that don't play no joke when it comes to that. Okay, so don't think that you over here working with angels and stuff like that, that they won't put in some fire protection work and get your enemies in line. They absolutely will. You hear that over and over again in Psalms 91. What is that? There was another one I was reading. It's Psalms 91. There was another song. Was it 34 or 57? But it says a lot. Them angels in there, they will put in their work. Low key want to take my mom and stepdad to court, but they work with demons. I don't know. And then you need your protection and psychic defense need to be A1. If you know that's going on, you need to always be having some psalms and stuff popping off and doing some baths 2 or 3 times a week. If you know they got that popping off, there needs to be a real strict spiritual protection regimen going on there. Okay, you know they got that going on. You need to always keep yourself protected. Peace to from Oshun, Daddy Lamar Munch Heartbeat. Spiritual blessings to you. Hey, Lamar Curtis. Okay. If you are supposed to do work with your right hand, what if you are left handed? Now, this is a matter of speech. This is a matter of, don't take that always literal. Are you taking that literal? Because that's what this sounds like to me. It's called left handed work, for because you're doing something that is not particularly on a path that we would usually practice. So some people call it left hand work. I don't like really calling it that. I like calling it justice work because if I have to pick that up, it's because I'm getting some justice. That's justice work to me. See, some people picking it up and you just doing something nefarious to people because you want to just do it. That's your first go to. But for me, the way I look at it from the eyes of our ancestors, that's justice work. And I approach that totally different because now I got to go in there and pray because I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. But you done made me do this because I got to get some justice and I got to get it. I got to get it because you have, again, caused injury to me. And so in order to balance the scales, I have to go in here and do this justice work. And that's what I'm gonna do. But after I do this, I'm gonna ask for forgiveness because I didn't want to do it. But the energy is there because you gave me no other choice but to get justice. So now I got to pray over my soul and pray for forgiveness that I had to do this to you. I wouldn't have had to do it had you not gave me the okay to do it because you injured me. So again, when you're going in to do justice work, it's good to go in with a balanced mind than revenge mind. You need to go in with justice because you were injured. Okay. And so what we're trying to do is balance the scale or defense work against bullying or something like that. Mm-hmm. Not this ain't too much, it's not left hand path, it's justice work. If somebody has injured you or hurt you in any type of way or caused you harm, and you don't got no money, our ancestors didn't have no money to go get no attorney or nothing like that. They didn't have no rights like that, so they had to take it to the altar. And the only way you can balance the scales and get justice again is to put in that type of work. So I don't believe, people say they curses and all that. I just look at it different. It is a place for that for justice. When you need to get justice from people that's raggedy and you can't get no justice, then you have to take it to the altar. So I don't. I look at it the way our ancestors look at it. It's justice because they sometimes they had to turn somebody into a fraud. Come on, I don't mean to say it like that. I'm sorry, ancestors. Maybe sometimes they had to lay people on their back because that's where they needed to be. Okay, they had to get justice, and it works even well because they created the frequency for you to work with. That's why you'll hear people in Obia, they scared of the Obia man or the Obia woman, but the Obia woman and man said, I wouldn't have been able to do it had you not put the energy there. You gave me the frequency to work with, you did it to yourself. That's just like that woman that my mama gave her that money, and my mama told her, if you cheat me out of my money, then she told that woman, she laid a trick for that woman right there. I said, what the hell? My mama gave that woman that money and told that woman, if you making a fool out of me and tricking me out that money, at this money, ain't nothing good gonna happen to you. I said, Mom, why would you give her the money, money, and she tricking? She said, I ain't worried about it. I'm gonna give her that damn money. She gonna fuck herself up. That's what she gonna do. She thinks she's slick, and she took that money from me. She gonna fuck herself up, and that woman did. That woman life was raggedy. You hear me? She laid that trick, but she shouldn't have did. She shouldn't have took the money because you knew you was raggedy. And why you take her money? That woman lost her job, was sleeping in the thing and all that. And my mama knew that woman was cheating her out her money, but she gave her the money anyway. And she already knew that woman's gonna mess herself up, and that's what happened. I just looked. I said, Mom said that's what she gets. She should have never took my money. I told her do not take that money if she wasn't right. Okay. And some people do it to themselves. She must have did. Your mama gave her the Miss Sicily fingers. I guess she did. Gave her that money. So you got to be careful too when you folks. You got to be careful the people that you cross because that woman had no. Uh, she had no idea that my mom was a. I don't know what she was doing. I can't think my mom was doing hoodoo and didn't know it. But she was a Bible reading woman. She believed she was a child of God. She wasn't no Christian. She always said, I'm a child of God. I ain't no Christian. Don't call me no Christian. I'm a child of God. She read her Bible. She was in that Bible. So I guess my mama, she laid a trick for her. She knew what she was doing. But that woman didn't have no good luck after she took my mama money. Okay. And why did it happen? Because the energy was already there. She put herself in there. She could have politely said, no, Miss Tiny, I'm not gonna take your money. You know, that would have saved her. But because she thought she was getting over on my mom, because my mama happily handed over the money, she didn't know she was getting herself into something. She didn't know that. I know now then she probably regret she took when her life got raggedy. She probably was regretted she took that money from my mama because my mama sit there and told her that. My mom was laying a trick for her when she told her that. But she's so dumb. She thinks she smarter than my mama. She not knowing that my mama is laying a trick just by telling her that. My mama conjured with her voice, told her what she wanted to happen, and it happened. And the most unseemly, sometimes you see the most unseemly people have the most power. Do not sleep on him. Now my mama just, read her little Bible, mind her business. Okay. Was her mom perfect? No, she wasn't perfect. And so you don't know. Again, doing that justice work, and it wouldn't have happened had my mom not, that frequency was not already there. That woman was already on there. So she messed up herself. She crossed up herself. Okay. So you want to be careful how you interacting with people too. And then you got some people you don't know the power of their thoughts. You got some people they can just think some crazy stuff, and there you go, all types of jinx and bad luck that happen to you because you done pissed somebody off and they mad at you. Some people don't know the power of their thoughts. You got to be careful how you interact with people. They don't know they thoughts are that powerful to attack you like that. Okay, I think Monica said Monday was asking Monica. She was talking to a psychic. I think this is the singer Monica, and the psychic said, she said, when you get into it with people, do something bad always happen to to them? And Monica said, yeah, I don't know why that happened. That's why I don't like getting mad at people, cause something bad always happen to them, and I get mad at them. You got some people got spirits like that. Okay, you don't know the power of they words and stuff. Issue elect, okay. So you don't know the power of people like that. So do you really want? That's why I trip out with these practitioners wants to have these words back and forth with each other. Squash that. Say forgive me and move on. But y'all so prideful, egotistical. Y'all want to go back and forth with each other. No, 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 no. Don't do that. Come to an understanding. Say forgive me. Maybe we had a misunderstanding. But when I see these practitioners love to trigger each other and go back and forth, you need to get somewhere and sit down and be quiet. They ain't gonna wear you raggedy. Sit down, be quiet. I don't think you need to be working for nobody, because we got people that's hurt and all this sort of stuff, and they anxious and stuff, and you got to your attitude and temperament is bad, and you dealing with somebody else like that. How are you gonna be the sound voice and the healer in the situation if you steady want to go back and forth with somebody who's mentally sick? You're not going to be the sound voice there. Okay, so question that when you see things like that happening with practitioners, they're so easily triggered. uh Before I do that, I just like walking away, just taking some space to breathe and coming back to it when emotions are running high like that. You have to have some type of regulation of your emotions, not letting people, kind of trigger you and get you out of character, because you're no longer in control when that happens. And yes, feel your emotions. You got every right to feel them, but don't let them control you. You navigate and control and direct the emotion instead of it, controlling you. Okay, so we've covered a lot here. We've talked about sigils. You know how sigils work now. We did an extensive coverage on this. I wanted to come here and talk about this so you'll really see in that book, if you're really reading it, that it's talking about healing, you guys. Don't miss that in that book. Don't skip over that in that book, because it's talking about the very same thing I have said to you. And you'll see that recurring theme in a lot of our resources. So you see Miss Penny not making this up. These people just not talking about it because it's in our resources. Why they ain't talking about this? Because I take you right there so you can see I ain't making this stuff up. I want you to have it right. I want you to have informed, be informed and not the commercialized crap that you're getting other places, that you'll really respect the practice, and that you can go in it with as much clarity as you need. Okay? These persons I was talking to want to let me go energetically. Huh. This person I was talking to want to let me go. I don't think I understand that question. I don't understand that statement. Okay. Does anyone have it now? If you're looking for an astro reading and you saying, Miss Penny, I don't know where to go. I don't know my magic. I don't know anything. I have this natal chart, but I don't know what's in it. Or I want my natal chart to see what's the hoodoo elements in it. What are the elements I should be working with? What herbs should I be working with? Uh, then go ahead and DM me. Uh, I would need your time, your date, your place of birth, and your email address if you're contacting me through um, TikTok. Okay, I put my email address in the chat here in YouTube. So if you're needing that, you're wanting that chart, you want to see, what are my hoodoo elements and things like that, get with me. I'll let you know what's going on now. If you're just needing a reading, you're stuck in your chart and say, I'm stuck right here. I need a shift, DM me, book schedule a reading. How do I get somebody from holding on to me energetically? They can hold on to you all you want to. The only reason why they got able to hold on to you if you ain't did no cord cutting. If you ain't doing no cord cutting and protecting your energy and you're steady gonna keep contact with them, you're making the cord stronger. But if you were to do a cord cutting and cut that off, they'll feel that. They'll try to contact you back. They'll try to get you on the phone, get you to interact with them to attach the cord back. But if you take the bait and you're going to answer the call and you're going to respond to their correspondence every time they reach to you, they're reattaching the energetic cord. But you just simply do a cord cutting. You can cut that off. Nobody has control over your energy like that. The only reason they have that energetically tired if they can trigger you emotionally. That is what a cord is. A cord is when somebody they can feed off you because now they have this sort of soul tie. They have uh again, what is your strongest emotion? Your strongest energy field is your emotions. They can feed through your emotions. So if they can trigger you or you're having contact with them, they can energetically feed off you. But if you cut the cord, they're gonna fit it. If you do that cord cutting right, they're gonna cut the cord. They can feel that. They can feel that. And they'll try to get in contact with you, either try to text you, email you, call you. You have to have sense enough not to respond. But it ain't gonna do no you good if you're gonna do a cord cutting and all that sort of stuff, and you steady gonna interact with the person. You still giving them access to your energy. You giving them permission to feed off your energy. I hope that help you. Ain't gonna do you no good. People say they want a cord cutting and all that stuff. Ain't gonna do you no good. You're gonna do a cord cutting with this person, and you steady gonna let them. You have poor boundaries because you're not even saying for yourself. You know they cutting off. You know they feeding off your energy, but you will not remove yourself from their presence. And I tell people this: if you do a cord cutting, make sure you have no other contact with that person. They're gonna feel it. It always happens. You're gonna cross their mind. They're gonna try to get you on the phone or try to get you to interact with them because they feel it. Okay. But if you're gonna keep on messing around and playing with that, you're giving them permission to access your energy. Okay. Don't work if you're gonna keep on messing with it. You got to be willing to walk away from it if you know they are feeding off your energy. That's how cord cutting works. Okay. I hope that helped you. All right. Anyone got any more questions for me? Anything you want to add? And again, we have some wonderful discussions coming up next month. I'm so eager. I can't wait to surprise y'all next month because we got some you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. That's what I've been working on here. So when I'm not here, you guys, and if I'm not making videos, I'm working on our community. Okay, I'm making sure you have the best stuff. I don't know, you guys know I'm weird. You know I'm nerdy, so I work hard at making sure you have the best stuff, you have the best information, and that you can make the best progress. That's what I do because I really love what I do, and I love bringing y'all the goodies. I want to bring the goodies to you, and I want to see you grow, and I love to see when you have good experiences. So be looking for some great stuff that's coming up. I'm telling you, it's gonna feel like you're opening up a present every day in December. You're going to have some good stuff. Okay. And then we're going to talk about some good topics. And you're the best teacher. Really, I appreciate you. Thank you, California 444. I just like what I do. And if you come to a book and you say, Miss Penny, I don't understand this book, bring it to my attention and I'll think about doing a review on it. Okay. So if it's something that you're hitting a wall in, or you read a book and you say, "Hey, I'm not kind of sure about this part. Miss P, can we talk about this? Bring it to my attention, and we can come here and have a discussion on it. And you should be present for the discussion. Okay? Yes, you should be present for the discussion. So if you go into a book, but I try not to get books like that. Then I put a lecture with it too and break it on down. So I try not to give you stuff that you don't understand. But if you find that that happens, and it does, get with me. But of course, I'll always come here and I will do live streams on different topics. And for right now, we're getting ready to calm down a little bit because we're coming to the end of the month. So you guys have a lot, maybe some videos to watch. I'm not trying to bog you down because I know you can be overwhelmed because we got a lot of information. So I'm slowing you down a little bit, just have you watching some videos and things like that before we kick back up again next month. And then I'll slow you again down, slow you down again next month because I know it can be overwhelmed because we have lots and lots of information, lots of good stuff. Okay, so I can't wait to next month. You guys are gonna be wowed, and just all of you that have been hanging in there for me. Thank you so much for contributing to our community and for believing in the work that we have over there to help you. Without you, the community would not be there. You guys keep it going on. And those of you out there, you're new to our community. Welcome. We're so happy to have you engage. You have any experiences there, share them with us because we're all learning together. Um, I'm gonna share this little experience and then I'm gonna jump off of here. Now, you guys know that I was talking about chaos magic and how I didn't want to do it, and then how I felt about servitors. And I didn't have the stuff to do the mojo bag. And so the ancestors like, maybe you want to try that servitor. And I'm telling you guys, let's not sleep on the servitors because I seem to have gotten they work. I don't think I can say that they work. It works. I just would have never took this approach. I'm learning new things about while I'm in the middle of working with this. I'm learning more things about working with them, but it works. I don't know what to say about that. It works. I will share more a little later after I finish this working with this servitor, but I can only say that it works. Go through the book, go through it. You try it for yourself and you tell me how it worked for you, but I seem to have gotten immediate results with that. And I'm still speechless with it. I'm baffled by it. Okay, I was reading Honoring Your Ancestors on Kindle and listening to your review. My book doesn't have the Ouija board information in it. I wonder if she changed it. I don't know. I don't know. And then she talked about Ouija boards on there. I'm gonna tell you who talked about it in a way that made it unscary. And I've been trying to look for her book. What is that? Ancestral Magic. I think her name is Vivian Gunn, and she talked a little bit about how to use a Ouija board in her book. And I've been trying to find that book again. I had the physical book, but I had to leave it in the United States. I couldn't bring all this stuff here. So I've been trying to find an electronic book, but that is the most extensive one I found with a practitioner that actually used a Ouija board. Now that's something I'm not a fan of. But then I heard some man say, "Hey, if you're using a pendulum, hell, you might as well use a Ouija board. It's the same thing." And I'm like, he kind of got a point there. But I've always had mixed feelings about Ouija boards. What book was the name of the book? It was called Ancestral Magic with the K, Magic with the K. And I think if I'm not mistaken, it's by Vivian Gunn, Gunn. Now, in that book, she talks a little bit about using a Ouija board. That's her form of communication. Now, that's the only author, only practitioner I've seen that talked about using Ouija board in that format. But then you go to talking about Ouija boards, you start hearing too that it originated with indigenous knowledge, and that the way our ancestors used it was a lot different in the way it's being used now. So that have been topics around the subject, you know, but my thing is, I don't know, I'm still not comfortable with them. I'm just not comfortable with Ouija boards. I'm sorry, I'm just not. Okay. Okay. Look for Vivian Gunn, Gunn, and it's called Ancestral Magic. She talks about it just a little bit in there, and it kind of gets you comfortable with it. The insights that she share in there. That's the only practitioner I know that has talked about Ouija boards in a way that didn't seem so threatening. Okay. But I myself, I'm still not comfortable with them. Okay. I'm still not comfortable with them. So, but you can take a look at that book. It might help. All right, you guys. Love you guys. Okay. I'll see you next time. And I will, try to schedule our next live stream to keep you guys in the loop so you know when I'm here since you guys like that. Okay. Love you guys. You guys take care.